Fine,
that
God.
God has a reason for grape.
For grape? All right, well, anyways, I'm gonna be blown up on YouTube in 4 months because of Jesus, and y'all will see it, right?
Hey, what do you got?
The Bible.
The Bible?
The Bible.
The Bible. The Bible. The Bible?
Isn't that good enough?
The Bible? You said the Bible?
Yeah.
I never thought of that. I never thought about that, sir. Now, which verse proves that God exists? Which verse is it? The talking donkeys verse, the Noah's Ark, the Noah ship, or Adam and Eve verse? Which one?
Adam and Steve.
Okay. Hope he was a troll. Hello?
Hey, what's up?
What do you got?
Hello? What's the question again? What's the question?
Come on, Billy, stay up. Don't sleep in class. God's imaginary. Prove me wrong. What's your evidence of God?
Oh, okay. Just that this is, right? That nothing came out of something, right? Something came out of nothing. Does that make sense to you? That there was nothing and now there's something?
No, it doesn't make sense, sir. Nothing came out of my
Oh,
ass, and now God's real?
poor baby.
Yeah.
Poor little.
Yeah. Have a good day, sir. We don't know what nothing means. It's not a coherent concept to talk about,
Yo, can you hear me, brother?
unfortunately. But
Appreciate it. But no, yeah, one thing I just was thinking about was there is nobody that is a believer in Christ that can come in here and give you concrete evidence. And you do have a valid point with that. But I do think the Christianity faith or the whole religion is built off of faith. And one of the things I used
okay,
to
great. So you're just literally digging a grave for yourself. Faith is dumb. Faith is ridiculous,
But
right? Faith
but it
is
takes just as much faith to not believe as believing. And I think that's kind of the wager that it comes down to
no, it
because
doesn't. No, I don't need to have faith that God doesn't exist. That's not my position, right? What I'm saying is we don't know if there's a God, whatever that means. There's no evidence for it. I'm asking for any evidence. If the only thing you have is trust me, bro, I have faith in this. Well, I'm sorry, but that is extremely illogical and something that I would never want to do because I'm a rational person and I'm an honest person. You're being
right,
dishonest the moment you say you just gotta believe because if you don't believe, then you're gonna be sad. That's dishonesty.
right. And I can see where you're coming from that perspective. I think it's the type of thing where at the end of the day, there is such a complex world and there's many people that believe in many different things. And the thing is, with you not believing in anything, you're putting faith into that as well. And I think that's
What do you mean
where it
I
comes.
don't believe? I believe in facts.
Okay. Are you Big Bang evolution? Is that your stance on it?
The Big Bang is a fact of reality that we can observe. The evolution is also a fact of reality.
If it was a fact of reality, there wouldn't be religion.
No, because even if the Big Bang and evolution are true, it still wouldn't demonstrate that there's no God. It
Yeah,
demonstrates that Christianity is dumb, but it doesn't disprove a God.
yeah, I do think, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I could sit here like everybody else says, and I pray for you, but I just pray for good things with you, and I always see your stuff popping up, and yeah, I believe in my God, but at the end of the day, I do understand how.
Why do you believe? Don't you see the dishonesty here in your position? Why do you believe if you have no evidence for this thing? Why do you believe?
And this is why it is such a difficult thing, because most people that come on here, they'll sit here and say,
No, it's not difficult. It's simple.
but
You either have a reason for believing or you don't. What's
yes,
your reasoning?
no, yeah, and it's the statement you're not gonna like, because most people come here and say it. I can't give you any.
Okay.
Hello.
Hey, what do you got?
Hey man, I see that you say God is a manager, can you prove me wrong? But I went through your account and your whole account says you're a Christian, and
It's called satire, sir. Now, do you have an argument today or evidence?
so you base your whole account saying you're a Christian, and then you come on here being the very opposite?
This is my 5th account, sir. This is my backup account. Okay.
Okay, so you
Now,
still have a bio and you still have multiple
can you give
videos.
us an argument for your magic God who died on a
You
stick?
literally have a video saying there's proof of Jesus.
Yeah, welcome to satire. Okay, that's
Your
called
whole
satire.
account,
Do you know what satire is?
you have
Okay,
faith in not believing. That's your whole account.
great.
Literally.
My account is made. This account was to show people how ridiculous and petty your belief is. How
So that's why your
ridiculous it
whole
is.
account is in the bio and everything?
Yeah, because you're yapping. You're not giving any actual evidence of a God.
But you're
just
yapping
proving
on
my
your
point.
account,
You're
and you're
just
talking
proving my
about Jesus
point
and God
because
every day.
you are proving my point that your belief is nonsense, is baseless nonsense.
That you have so much
You
faith in not
still
believing?
haven't given us evidence of God. You've been talking for 10 minutes now.
Just saying, bro. You say I'm yapping, but your whole account is based off Jesus, and you're saying satire and stuff. So,
Where's the evidence?
it's on your account.
Wait, you think the stupid satire on my account is real? You
No,
think
I
that's
didn't say
real?
that. I just said your faith in not believing is real. It's all over your account.
What?
How old are you?
Wait, let me try to let me. My faith in not believing is real.
Yeah,
My
you have
faith
faith in not
believing.
believing. Your whole account is a prime example of that.
My faith in not believing. How do you have faith for not believing? By definition, faith is
Because
belief.
you choose to not believe. That's your faith.
That's a lack of belief. That's not a belief.
That's your decision.
No, I don't. No, it's not my decision. I don't choose what to believe in. That's
You
what
made the
you do.
decision to make the account and make the whole satire stuff. That
It's
was
my
your
decision to make the account to show people how ridiculous your belief is. Sure.
Not your opinion,
But
but
I don't
sure.
choose what to believe in. That's what you do. You dishonest people do, right? Who believe in
I'm
God.
dishonest for being religious?
Yeah. Where's your evidence for God?
What about the 500 key witnesses that witnessed his resurrection?
Oh, really? What were their names? Where would they come from? Where do they live? And where is this all coming from? Where's your source that they actually saw Jesus rise?
All the scriptures and the people who witnessed it, and they also that it's very accurate
The
evidence on that.
scriptures. Oh, so the same scriptures that say donkeys can talk and that people can walk on water and be born of virgins, that's your source?
Yeah.
So you think people can walk on water?
I think Jesus can walk on water.
And how do you know that?
Because in the scriptures and the key witnesses and stuff. People died. People died saying that stuff. They were tortured and killed saying that stuff.
People died. They died. People die for
Yeah.
Allah. People die for all kinds of gods. It doesn't make them right. Do you believe in Allah now? Because the jihadists die for Allah?
I respect that religion, but no, that's not. I don't have my faith in that religion now.
Why not?
I think that Christianity is the truth. That is my opinion. That's my
Why?
right.
Why? What's your reasoning behind this? Do you have any fucking critical thinking skills? Do you
Yes.
have any noggin?
Hey, how old are you, by the way?
Why? Why do you believe in this shit? Why?
How
What's
old
the
are you?
reasoning? What's the evidence? What's the logic? What's the evidence?
I'm just asking a question. How old are you?
Okay.
And you're
Enjoy the rest of your evening. Next.
Yo, what's up?
How old are you?
I'm 18.
What's a W-2?
What?
What's a W-2?
A W-2?
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
Next. Hey, what do you got?
All right, Mike, I have God is real.
How old are you?
I'm 20.
All right.
February 7, 2003.
What do you got?
All right. So I heard you say on this live before, lack of evidence is evidence. And I also heard you say that you...
No, only in some cases, yes.
Okay, I also heard you say you believe in evolution.
Yeah.
Okay, did you know there is microevolution and macroevolution?
I did, sir. I did.
Okay, so do you know the differences between the two?
Yeah. One's over time, one's over smaller amounts of time. What's your point?
Okay, so this is where evolution is a theory. If macroevolution was truth and we all evolved from one singular cell, then we should see a hybrid. We should see hybrids of evolution happening, like, you know, because fishes just don't grow legs and arms. They know how to walk. We should see.
Wait, you're
hybrid
20?
crosses.
Wait, you're 20. You're a member of the society.
Irrelevant.
You're a member of our society and don't know what evolution is. You think fish are going to grow legs like Pokemon? You think that's evolution? No! Evolution isn't fish growing legs, sir. It's speciation over generations, thousands
And we have
of
no
generations.
proof of
That's
that.
evolution.
We have no proof of the speciation. It's
Fossil
just a
record.
theory.
Yes, we do. The fossil record, DNA evidence, and lab experiments.
Can you show me one source? One source.
Sure. We have human chromosome 2, which is direct DNA proof of evolution, which shows us our chimp divergence 6 million years ago.
That's intraspecies.
We also have Richard Lenski's experiment in the 1990s, where he took a species of bacteria and split their populations and viewed their speciation over time in a lab. We also have the fossil record, which demonstrates the homologous and analogous structural changes over
Again,
thousands
that's
of years.
intraspecies. That's intraspecies.
No,
That's
it's not interspecies.
Yes, it is, Mike.
Speciation. It's macroevolution in front of our eyes.
That's microevolution. That's adaptation. That's
No,
that's
microevolution.
interspeciation.
Macro is just micro plus time.
Okay,
They're the
so
same
when
things.
wait, hold on. So when you're telling me one animal evolved from another animal, it just went from being one animal to another animal. Can you prove that?
No, but that's
This
not how.
just don't grow legs.
That's not how
you just
evolution
claimed that.
works. Evolution isn't like Pokemon, where Charmander becomes Charizard with the Fire Stone. No.
You see how silly it sounds?
Okay, explain to me how evolution works. I'd love to hear this.
We have macroevolution.
Okay, great. Explain to me what
which is
Sir,
species
sir,
to species.
Sir,
Mhm.
explain to me what macroevolution is.
Macroevolution is it's when animals evolve from one species to another species. And then we have
And
micro.
How does that happen? How does that happen?
Well, that's what science says, over billions of years.
No. What's the mechanism of speciation? How does it happen?
Can you explain that to me? I don't know that.
We can tell you don't know jack shit. Okay. So let me educate you. Macroevolution is when you have species over many generations. And what that means is a population splits and two populations split. One diverges this way, one diverges another way. Over enough time, over enough generations, those two populations will be genetically different enough to yield a new species. That's macroevolution.
Do you have proof of the last part that you said, though? You said over time. Do you have proof of over time animals slowly shifting into another species?
It's called the fossil record. We have fossils like Australopithecus afarensis. We have Homo habilis. We have all the human species that preceded before us. All the intermediate stages between us and chimps 6 million years ago.
Okay, can you give me an example of an intermediate stage species?
Australopithecus afarensis, Homo habilis. I just gave you 3.
What species is that? That's a name. I want a species.
That's the species, sir. Homo habilis is a species of human.
Okay. Not humans. I want species going from one species to another.
Okay, great. Australopithecus afarensis is a species. It's a non-human ape who, over many generations, became slowly Homo habilis, which is a species of ape. A human ape.
Okay, but if you believe that humans evolved from apes, then that's intraspecies. That's within species.
No, we didn't evolve from
That's
apes.
silly.
We are apes. We are apes.
Then that's silly. That's silly. That's intraspecies. That's not species to species.
Wait, do you think that we're apes?
Yes, I believe that we're apes.
Okay, great. So you recognize that there's different types of apes within the category of apes?
So do you recognize that apes are a species? Like that's one
No,
species?
they're not. Apes are not a species. They're a group of type of animals.
Isn't that what we?
You know,
Isn't that the definition of species?
No,
That's silly, Mike.
you don't know what species means.
That's silly, Mike.
Species are a type of a group, a category of animals, like an ape. There are dozens of species of apes.
So what do you call the different types of apes that categorize under apes? What is that called? I think it's called a species.
Yeah, that's just
Okay. So that literally
we happen to be one.
That literally disproves that that homogeneous ape or whatever you were calling it, that's interspecies, which is therefore micro evolution, not
No,
macro.
it is not, sir. Again, this is hilarious. There can be speciation within apes. That's what
Which makes it microevolution.
No, it's macro.
How's that macro?
So
That's not
what's
macro.
the difference, sir? What is the difference between micro and macro? Please explain to us.
Again, macro is when one species evolves to another species. Microevolution is adaptation within the species.
Okay. And macro is just adaptation plus more time. If given enough adaptations, you'll get a new species.
That would make it macroevolution. And
Yeah,
I asked you,
It's the fucking fossil record. We see all these adaptations building up over time, becoming a new species.
You have not provided
we're not
proof
gonna
of the
fucking debate this
intermediate
shit anymore.
stage.
Sir, stop. Go learn some evolution. I'm tired of explaining to you this.
You go learn. Your own
Great.
science debunks you.
Then demonstrate that evolution's false. Go ahead.
I will. Oh,
Go. Let's hear. Tell us how evolution is false.
Fish did not just grow legs and arms, start walking around.
That's a
how
strong.
silly that is. There is no proof of intermediate stage evolution.
No, sir. Listen.
That's the proof that you have provided me.
Listen, I can't stop. I just explained this to you, sir.
And I explained to you why it's wrong.
Oh my gosh. Evolution does not mean fish grow legs. Get that out of your fucking head. That's not evolution. It's not fish growing legs. Stop saying that. Okay? No. Speciation over time is what we observe in the fossil record, in our DNA, and in labs. I gave you 3 fucking sources of evidence.
And I have debunked them. The examples that you have provided me, I proved to you that's interspecies. Interspecies adaptation.
No, sir, I just explained to you. Australopithecus.
You said humans are a type of apes.
Stop talking. Australopithecus to Homo habilis. That's speciation.
Say it again.
Australopithecus afarensis is a non-human ape who speciated into Homo habilis, which is a human ape. That's species.
So ape to ape, that's interspecies.
No, it's a new species of apes. Apes is a grand category. Within it are species of apes.
So that's intraspecies. You just said apes are a grand category. Do you not understand what intra and species mean?
An ape is not a species, though. So yes, I would agree if you said ape to ape, that's interspecies. But
yes, ape to ape
are not species. There are different types of apes within the category of apes, and that's what speciation means. There could be. That's why we are a species of humans, and there is.
And I'm saying there's no proof of macro evolution.
Yes, there is in the fossil record. We have Homo habilis.
And you have given me the fossil record, and you yourself just said it's ape to ape. You would agree, which therefore is micro
but that's
evolution.
not the reality. That was. You're too dumb.
What you're saying is not reality, Mike.
No, you're too dumb to understand what I'm telling you. That's what's happening. Go look it up. Apes are not a species. It's a category of animals. Within the category of apes, there are many species. There's species of humans. We are one species of humans, and there are many other species of humans before us. Did you know that there were multiple human species before us that we speciated into, right?
Nonetheless, they're all apes, right or wrong? Are they all apes, right or wrong?
But they're still different species. Species to species.
Okay, well, macroevolution is from one category to another category. That's how you
No,
want
it's
to look at it.
not. No, it's
Yes, it
species to
is.
species.
It's
Now
one
you now
category
now
to
you're moving
another
the goalposts.
category over time, right? Over time, right?
No, it's
One
species to
category,
species. It's
one
species
category
to
evolving
species. You
into another
dishonest
category over
jackass.
time.
Species to species.
I'm not dishonest. Okay, so if it's species to species, how did they evolve out of that category?
That's macroevolution. They
Which you don't
speciated
have
over
proof
time.
for.
How do
It's
they
a
do it?
theory.
It's called
It's a
having
theory.
sex and spreading your genes.
And
Natural selection.
and it's a theory. It's a theory, Mike. You have not provided proof for macroevolution.
Yes, I did, you fucking jackass. I gave
What
you the
you
fossil record. I showed you the DNA evidence.
you
What is
showed
human,
you
what is human
go
chromosome
ahead.
2?
Huh?
Huh? What is human chromosome 2? Do you know what that is?
Enlighten me. Enlighten me, Mike.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and you pretend that you have
Enlighten
the
me.
answers when you don't
Enlighten
know
me.
jack shit about
You
evolution.
haven't provided proof. Enlighten me.
I just did, but you're too dumb to understand it.
Which you have provided me proof of. It's
It's not that I didn't provide proof, it's that you're too stupid to understand it.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep, what do you got?
Okay, so before I guess I give my proof as to why God is not imaginary, I just want to simply say that my personal experience of God's work in my life is my personal proof of his existence.
Okay,
But
great. Give me evidence that what you experienced was God.
okay, so do you agree that PTSD is not curable?
Okay, hold on. I follow my YouTube. Link in bio. All right. Yeah, the funny thing is that people, they don't understand evolution. So when you talk to them about it, they think that they're winning when they actually have nothing to understand.
Okay, so like I was saying before you kind of jumped off, was before I go into my proof of why he is in fact real, do you agree that PTSD is not curable? It can only be
I
treated
don't know.
medically.
I don't know. Okay, what's your point?
Okay, so my point is, and what I'm getting to is, in the year of 2019, I was medically diagnosed with PTSD because I had night terrors for a year, like the kinds that you see in movies where like people that go to war wake up in the middle of the night screaming. That was what I encountered for a year of my life. In the year
Okay.
of 2021, that is when I, for the first time, really in my life, sincerely called on the name of God specifically to save me from my horrific experiences that I was having. And that same year was the same year that put an end to all of the horrific experiences that I was having that my
Okay,
PTSD was
great.
giving me.
So how do you know that God did it and not just perhaps something else that you just don't understand?
Because
Like,
that's not a coincidence. You
why
don't
not?
call on the name of
Why not?
God and
How is
then
it,
be saved
ma'am,
from a horrific
ma'am,
experience. It's not a
ma'am,
coincidence.
ma'am, I'm happy you're better. But the problem is, how do you know it's not a coincidence? How do you know it's not a coincidence?
Because that year, it didn't obviously happen instantly, like the very first prayer, like boom, okay, this happened. It took dedication and time and
Ma'am,
sincerity from my heart.
that's not what I asked you, right? How do you know that's not that it was not a coincidence, that it must have been God? How do you know it
Okay,
must have been God?
so for one, I don't know if I mentioned, but like I said, I refused to do anything medically. I did not want to be, I guess, medicated for any of the things that I had been experiencing, because that is obviously something that people would naturally prescribe to be like, okay, yep, well, that worked for you and that got rid of your PTSD. Instead, I
Ma'am,
took the
please,
spiritual
can you
route
stop yapping? How do you, this is the last time I'm gonna ask you, right? Like, how do you know that this was not a coincidence, that it must have been God? How do you know that?
What else could have happened then? What do you
That's the
think is
point.
logical
We don't
to
know.
say?
It could, you maybe could have gone to suppression. It could have been suppressed. It could have gone into remission.
I went through that for over a year in my life of experiencing that. That
I
doesn't,
know there are people who experience cancer for a year, then all of a sudden it goes away without prayer, right? It's called remission, suppression. These are possibilities. It could be placebo. We have no idea what's happening. That's why we can't say it must be God. There are a plethora of possible reasons why it went away.
Right. And I respect your point of view. You have your different
No,
beliefs
I
and I
don't give
have
a
mine.
shit. I don't care, right? I'm asking about the truth. You're making a very crazy claim here that God saved you. I'm
He
asking you
absolutely
how you
did. It's
know
not
this. I'm
crazy.
asking you how you know this, and all you're giving me is, well, it must have been him. How do
So
you know it must
that
have
is
been?
only one puzzle piece that started my faith with him.
It's not
That
a puzzle piece, ma'am. It's more like your own thinking, right? You
it
want
isn't
it to be
a
God.
puzzle piece if you don't have your own belief in him. That's what is so different between your way
How
of
about the
thinking and
people?
mine.
How about the people who pray that their diseases go away, then God never, they never get answered. They get worse and they die. That God
He
was
doesn't
God.
give out the same blessings to everybody. Everybody's story is different. They're
Exactly.
not
Great.
identical.
So now we're left with a problem. Now you have no way of knowing if God's really helping you. So now you have no way of knowing, right? Now the thing you're saying God is could easily just as be coincidence. There's no difference.
Okay, that's fair if that's what you want to go ahead and believe. I'm just speaking my piece
No,
on
it's
how
not
I
what
view
ma'am,
my
it's not what I
situation. It's
want to
my
believe. It's
life.
not what I want to believe. And stop
Okay.
being dishonest
Well,
here.
you didn't
You think
experience what
for a
I did,
second.
respectfully. You did not have to experience what I did and go through what I went
I
through.
understand you experienced a lot of bad things, and I'm sorry. But the problem is that you're making a very peculiar claim here that God saved you. Not only is the fact that other people are being harmed with prayer, even though they pray, it signifies that your God's, if he exists, is a terrible, shitty God. But more importantly, you have no way of knowing if this is just coincidence or God. How do you tell the difference? How do you know the difference?
The difference, so everything that followed afterwards, I guess, which I did a lot of studying, like I think that you
Looks like
did
you can't
previous.
really track to the conversation, so have a good day. She's not understanding.
Yo, can you hear me?
How old are you?
16.
Yo,
How old are you?
22.
What do you got?
Well, I see you do like these other lives where you like pretend that you think God's real. It's kind of weird. I don't know why you have like split personality.
The funny thing about when people say that to me is the fact that I'm just reciprocating everything that religious people are doing. I'm literally doing what they do. And they keep saying, you're being silly, that's bad, you're mocking God. That's literally what they do. That's literally what you guys do on lives. The behaviors I see on TikTok or in general, pastors, priests, the things that they say are the same things I do on these on this channel. And the funny thing is, you guys can't even see it.
Hello.
What do you got?
Yeah.
How old are you?
Okay. I want to ask, why do you think God's fake?
How old are you?
Like, why do you think he's imaginary?
How old are you?
I'm 20. I'm 21.
Okay. There's no evidence for God. Do you have any evidence for God?
Yeah. What other book has been right for over 2,000 years? What have you seen where they found the Roman chariots in the Red Sea?
Yeah, that was a hoax. That was not real. And by the way,
Yeah.
what year were you born? What year were you born?
I was born in 2000.
Man, he's a really old 21-year-old. He's been 21 for 2 years now. Wow.
No,
What do you got?
all right. So, when you're with your friends, your whole life, you tell, they ask you, what do you believe in? God is not something you have proof of. It's a belief.
Okay, so is the fact that I fucked your mom, right? It doesn't matter. I don't care about beliefs. I care about facts.
Dude,
So
God,
what is
this
the
whole
evidence
God
that
thing,
your God?
this whole
What is the
spiritual
evidence
thing,
that your God's real? What is
it's
the
been going
evidence
on
that your
for
God's real?
thousands and thousands of years. It'll never be debunked, bro. There's no proof of God. It's just a belief. You ask someone, do you have belief in God? Simple as that.
Okay, great. So how do you know this God exists? What's your evidence? Because I don't give a shit if I
God
can't
exists
debunk
at
something that
all. It's
doesn't
just a belief,
exist.
dude. You don't know if God exists at all. It's a belief. You don't when you're with your friends. Oh yeah, do you give me proof
Okay,
God is
great.
born? No,
So,
it's do you believe in God?
sir,
It's simple as
okay,
that, bro.
sir. I know
Simple as
it's a.
that.
I fucking know it's a belief. I knew that before you said it.
Okay,
I'm
so
after the truth, though.
you
I'm after
can't prove
facts.
that God is born, bro. People, bro, this has been going on for years and
All
years.
right, this guy's too young. He doesn't understand what's going on. He Hey, what do you got?
Number 1 victory royale, yeah, Fortnite, we bout to get down. Get down. 10 kills on the board right now.
Subscribe to the YouTube, guys. Link in bio for more debates.
Yeah, what's up, bro?
How old are you?
23.
What year were you born?
Bro, just kick me, bro. You're childish.
Says the literal child. Thank you, Skits. Thank you so much for those gifts. Thank you. Hello?
Hey, can you prove me why God is imaginary?
There's no evidence for it.
The Bible says so. And
The
here
Bible
there's
says
tons of proof. There's tons of proof before your eyes with the prophecies that have been foretold and all the things that's been happening currently. You're just one of those devils
okay, great.
that's
So give one
distracting
example.
people and from the truth and taking the people on
Stop
TikTok
yapping. Stop
and
yapping.
taking people
Stop.
away
Stop
from the truth.
yapping. Blah 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 blah
You
blah
guys
blah
need to
blah
stay
blah
away
blah
from
blah
this
blah
guy.
blah
He's a
blah blah blah
distraction from
blah
God
blah
and the
blah
truth.
blah 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 blah.
You're
Okay, put on your brain. Okay, put on your brain. Oh, he left. Okay, guys, I don't want to be preached at. I want evidence to God, right? I want reasons for God. I know it's hard to give evidence to God. I know it's hard. Hello? Hello? Keep tapping, guys. Keep tapping.
Bro, like can you like at least let me finish, bro?
Keep tapping, guys. For more people to get in. We don't have enough people right now. They're all trolls. Give an argument to go away. Yep. And subscribe to my YouTube for all. I post all my debates there. I have lots of content there as well. Go check it out. Hello?
Yo.
Hey, what do you got?
Yeah, I think the evidence is overwhelming, actually, surprisingly.
Great.
So, I mean, yeah, I mean, why would we want to blame ourselves for everything going on, right? I mean, wouldn't it make more sense that somebody made something and fucked it all up, you know, rather than
Okay, yeah. Blah, blah. Can you give us evidence for your God now?
Yeah, I'm just saying, you know, it would make more sense that somebody else messed this up than us, right? You know, generally speaking.
Sarah, do you believe in God?
It's a good question. I think it's fair to say that it's okay to be agnostic, right? You know, because I don't think you can prove. And I was just arguing with a guy.
Hey, what do you got?
What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
What's your evidence for God?
Oh, no, I just wanted to join, to say what's up.
You tapping?
Oh, hello.
How old are you?
I'm 22.
What year were you born?
2001.
What month?
April 15th.
Okay, what do you got for us today?
So I just have a quick question. So your bio says you're a Christian apologist, but you're an atheist on this live, so I'm like really confused.
Yeah, you're definitely 15. Okay. Have a good day. He's definitely 15. Next. It's so confusing. He has videos as a Christian. I can't understand satire. What's that
Mike.
mean? What do you got?
Well, everything has a cause, and there can't be an infinite number of causes, so it has to start with something eternal.
Yeah, who caused God?
God always was, always will be. He's the eternal.
Oh,
He started
okay.
all the causes.
So everything has a cause except for my God. Okay.
Yeah, you're going to burn in hell, my brother.
What was it? I'm going to burn what now? What incarnations? Yeah, so just as the theist says everything has to have a cause, we can just say, no, it fucking doesn't. And we just say the universe existed always, eternally, just as they say with God. So it's a very moot argument. Christian love, right?
This brother right here is a non-believer. We need to make him a truther.
Yeah, so I heard you say you could equally say the universe is eternal, just like how we say God is eternal. I think that claim has to be the most ignorant and stupid claim I've ever heard in my life, right? The universe changes, right? And the universe, what's it called, undergoes potentiality, so it cannot be eternal. I don't know how many times people
Why?
have
to so get the logical
Can you go
solution.
study instead of just creating
Okay, great.
stupid
So give us the syllogism for that the universe changes, therefore it can't be eternal.
Yeah, well, I mean, it doesn't even have to necessarily be in a syllogism, but we could just understand it to be, right? Well, first of all, how do you describe universe?
No, you're literally deflecting. Show us the logic that demonstrates the
Yeah, I know.
universe
I'm demonstrating
can't be
you the
eternal.
logic, but before, so how do you define the
No,
universe? Just so
no.
Okay, fine. Then I'll just go with my definition. That's fine. Right? So I just described the universe as anything around us that is time, space, and matter. Okay, cool.
Okay, great. So show us that it can't be eternal.
Okay, that's fine, right? So anything that is described, or if the universe is described to be everything that's time, space, and matter, right, are relative, right? They're relative in existence, and to be relative in existence means to depend on another thing, and to depend and to move and etc.
What? No. It doesn't depend on anything to exist.
Yeah, why?
Something existing just because the universe exists as space-time doesn't mean that it depends on something.
No, you don't understand what I said. Oh my god. So I literally just said if the universe is embodied by time, space, and matter, and time, space, and matter are relative existences, that implies that, the universe would be, contingent itself, because it would just be relative if it embodies relative properties.
How does it make it contingent?
Yeah, so, wait, so you don't believe that it to be relative in existence means to depend on another thing? What, that's kind of in the term?
No, it doesn't. So it doesn't depend on anything to exist. Relativity means it depends on our perception. It doesn't mean it depends on something to exist.
Okay, so in the absence of our perception, does it exist?
Yeah.
Then it's not relative on our perception.
It is relative to our. That's what relativity means. It means
That's
that.
not.
It means
That's
that
not what
as
relativity
thinking.
means.
Stop. Listen. It means from our perspective as beings inside the universe, we can perceive things to be changing or moving depending on its velocity, its gravity, things like that. But the existence of those things exists without anybody, which means that the universe does not actually change. Objectively speaking, there's no change.
There is literally no way you could prove that. I don't know where you get. So you're basically saying,
Relativity. This is Einstein's four-dimensional block.
wait, hold on. You're basically saying that how we view time empirically and everything around us that we're viewing and like perceive of time is at this point a delusion, and what we believe time to be,
Yeah.
you know.
This is what Einstein demonstrated.
Who
right?
cares what Einstein demonstrated? He could be wrong. Doesn't mean.
Yeah, but this is evidence, right? So
It's not
Einstein.
evidence. Why is it evidence?
Let me explain to you, right? If you just let me speak. So Einstein actually demonstrated in his theory of relativity that the universe as we know it, the passage of time can be an illusion brought about by the brain, and that time exists as a dimension, one of four dimensions, three of space, one of time, in that it never changes. There's no objective sense of change. It's not absolutely changing. Change is only an emergent property from our perspectives. And that's what relativity means. It does not mean that the universe changes, and it does not mean that it can't be eternal.
Okay, right. So what is time to Einstein? Define time?
Dimension.
Dimensions? Okay, right.
Spatial dimension.
Yeah. Well, time is in
dimension.
Yeah, right. A temporal dimension. You're saying time in of itself, right, doesn't change, but emergent properties that do change come about it, and we perceive it as such. But that doesn't mean time changes itself.
Right.
Yeah.
Time doesn't change.
Huh?
Yeah, time doesn't change.
Yeah, time. Okay, so do these properties subsist of the essence of time itself?
What?
Do the properties, right? You said that there are emergent properties from the essence of time that change, right? Correct?
Well, we're made of matter. We're not made of time. We're made of matter.
No, that's irrelevant. I'm saying you said there are emergent properties that we perceive of time that do change, and I'm saying do these properties subsist of the essence of time? I already said this, and you said yes.
So matter being a part of the space-time, we as matter, conscious beings, can perceive time to be changing.
I'm not talking about matter, dude. I'm saying that, okay, you said we perceive time, right? Our perception of time is the emergent property, it has that does change. We're agreeing, that's fine. But I'm saying, do these properties subsist of the essence of time? So do they come about from the essence of time, or are they a complete different existence?
No, they don't come from the essence of time.
So how do they emerge from time? Are you making like a distinction in existence?
They don't emerge from time.
Okay, right. So we have actual time, right? And we have emergent properties from time that do change. Are these properties, like, what does it mean to emerge from time? Because you're saying, like, what are the properties?
I don't know. That's nonsensical.
How is that nonsensical?
What's it mean? I don't know what it means to emerge. I never said that.
You said that the emerging properties from time is what we perceive as change, not time itself.
That. What I said was what emerges from our brains is the sense that time changes, not time itself, but our brains.
What? Yo, that was a yap. That didn't even make sense.
Our brains
emerges from
our perceptions are subjective. Do you agree?
Our perception is subjective?
Yeah.
If by perception you mean what we think of something, yeah, but we could also think of something that's objective and experimental.
So our perceptions are subjective, and this is what relativity shows us as well with time. Time is a stagnant thing, perhaps, as relativity shows it could be, but our perception of it.
Well, I didn't say our perception is entirely subjective. You heard me say that you could think of something that is already experimental and objective, but you thinking of it doesn't mean it, it's not subjective.
The thinking of it is by definition a perception. But I agree with you that there's an external reality that is objective. I agree. But we don't have access. We don't have epistemic access to that reality. But we do have epistemic access to our perceptions. And time seems to be a perceptual, the passage of time.
Perfect.
Not time itself. Time is a real thing. What's perceptual is the passage of time, the motion of time. That is something that is not fundamental to it. It's emergent of our minds.
Yeah, so how do we gain this perception of time, that it emerges and moves?
We observe reality.
What reality is it if the reality of time is that it's unchanging? How do we observe something that has to do with time that does change?
We observe our perception of reality. That's the point.
Yeah,
But
okay, so
Einstein
perfect,
with
so perfect,
relativity-
so perfect. Remember when you mentioned we have a lack of epistemic access to the extramental? Yeah, this right here would be a lack of epistemic access because what we observe is the only access we have to epistemically. So if we view the world empirically, everything, this is all we have access to. You are saying that there exists time outside of our perception that we have no access
that's
to.
why it's
You can't prove
theoretical.
it.
That's why it's theoretical, right? We'll never have proof.
Okay,
of
so
time.
nobody gives a shit about your theory, nor about Einstein's theory. It can't be proven.
The funny thing is that you don't even have a theory. You don't even have a fucking hypothesis. You have a word.
Nobody cares about your theory. You can't prove it. You just admitted you can't prove it.
You don't even have a theory.
You just admitted you can't prove your theory.
We don't have
bullshit
proof in
theory.
science. You know what proof is versus evidence?
Yeah, I know what proof is.
Okay, great. So what's proof versus evidence? What's the difference?
Well, okay, so evidence can come. It's just the reasoning. It could be false reasoning, true reasoning, and proof is that of which is only valid or sound.
No, proof is conclusive.
No, but that's the
Evidence is
definition.
subjective.
Literally, search it up.
Okay, listen. The point is this: that we don't have proof of things in science. That's ridiculous. We don't need to prove things in science. We have lots of evidence behind relativity, and that's the point. We have mathematical evidence. We have scientific evidence of these things that we can make inference to about the reality we live in. But what your point is your point is actually moot because you don't have a theory for God.
No, I
You don't
do.
have evidence for God.
Well, no,
Why
I don't have a
fuck-
theory. We
why
have
the
deductive
fuck-
arguments.
Why the fuck should we believe in God if you have no idea what it is, no theory about it, no evidence of it, nothing?
Logic and
you have no
reasoning.
proof of God either.
Logic and reasoning goes farther than science.
Great, then no, it doesn't. Science
Yes, it does.
incorporates logic and reasoning. Number
No, it
one.
doesn't.
Number two,
No, it
give
doesn't.
us reasoning for God. Give us the
Because
reasoning.
science only deals with inductive reasoning. Logic deals with deductive reasoning.
No, we deduct things in science.
No, you don't. Oh my God, the whole purpose of science is to observe reality, right? And that's inductive reasoning. Deductive reasoning is accept of
Yeah, so we can use
observation. It's
inductive. So we
100% true.
stop. We can use inductive and deductive reasoning in science.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
you said something peculiar. You said that we have logic for God. Where's that logic?
Yeah, we're going over it right now. So now that we've agreed and come on equal terms that
No,
the
no,
movement...
no. Stop. Give us logic for God.
Yeah, fine. That's okay. So we could say that, for example, I believe in uncaused cause or unconditioned reality
that could be the universe. That's not logic for God, right? You're just saying.
I just
The
embarrassed
funny
you on
thing,
it, bro.
so give us logic for God.
Oh,
not
okay,
that
Mike,
there's
are you gonna
God.
be open-minded and listen, right? Instead of just interrupting me
Yeah,
every
great.
second?
Let's hear the evidence for God.
Yeah, cool. So how you just said, right? The unconditioned reality I'm bringing, you're objectifying my statement by saying the universe can be eternal and unconditioned, correct?
Yeah, so give us logic for God.
Okay, so hold up. Just let me clear the objection that you brought up. That's how a debate works, right? Relax, like breathe.
No,
So
there's no objection here. I'm asking for evidence.
You
and
just
logic
said the
for
universe
God.
can be unconditioned. Can I respond or no?
The universe can be eternal. Now give us.
So are you gonna let me respond to that?
Give us logic for God.
Yeah, how am I supposed to do is this guy good? Are you gonna let me destroy that objection and then follow up with the reason? That's how it works. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, right? So basically, right, as we just established, the definition of the universe, the ontology of the universe, we established all this, and then you said, yeah, the universe doesn't change because
give us logic for God.
Okay, this guy is useless, right? Okay, so throw it out. Stop saying the universe can be unconditioned. Then don't make that statement if you don't want me to refute it. Okay, don't talk about it. Why are you bringing it up?
That's irrelevant, sir. The universe.
Then don't
be
talk about
eternal.
it. Just let me give the evidence instead of making stupid claims like that.
Go give the logic for God. I've asked you 6 times.
Yeah, sure. Right. So basically, we understand that if movement is perceived within reality, and we understand movement exists, right? Movement would just imply the actualization of a potential, meaning that possibilities become reality, right? At points in time. So now that we got that out the way, I believe
Sir,
that
where's your logic for God? Where's the logic for God? You're just
I'm
yapping,
walking
right?
you
Where's the
through
logic
the
for
steps.
God?
You're
Where's
not.
the logic for God?
This is the logic.
Where? You didn't give anything yet. You just said.
I'm explaining it. How are you? Wait,
Where's the
I'm
logic for
explaining
God?
it. Just because you don't understand doesn't mean I'm not giving evidence.
All you said was that the universe, that God is conditioned or something.
I
Give
didn't
us
even bring
logic
up
for God.
conditions, nor did I
Give
bring up
us,
the
give
universe
us
in that
logic for,
entire
give
like
us logic for
session of
God.
speaking.
Give us logic for God.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now, sir. You just cut me off and just yapped. You're just trying to make it seem like I'm not
Great,
giving
then
evidence to your brain dead
the
followers that
logic.
have
Give us
no
the
brain.
logic. Give us the logic.
Yeah, sure, right. So I'm gonna proceed to continue. Okay. So basically, when we understand that potentials cannot actualize themselves and potentials require an external reality that already exists, right, to actualize their existence, and we understand that there cannot be an infinite series of actualizers to potentials because that would be nonsensical. That would just lead to a reductio.
Why? That's not a reductio doesn't mean it's false. It's not a contradiction.
What? Are you dumb?
What do
What
you
is a
think
reductio?
you
Are
think a
you stupid?
reductio?
Do you even know what a reductio is?
Yeah, it doesn't make it false.
Okay, what
It
is a
just means
reductio?
all it means is that
What is a reductio?
it means that the conclusion that follows is absurd. It doesn't mean that it's false.
Logically absurd. Literally.
No, it
Yes,
just means
search it up. Like, why are you going against definitions now?
that would be a logical contradiction. So where's the logical contradiction in an infinite regression?
Yeah, right? The logical contradiction would just be within language itself, because if you define infinite...
No. What is the logical contradiction?
What? This guy doesn't let me talk. Let me finish. Damn. Right? So if you define...
Let's get to it.
Yeah, how am I supposed to get to it when you cut me off every second? Right? So literally an infinite regress, if it's defined, right, to be a procession of secondary causation, right? It's just an infinite series of secondary causes that follow one after another, right? Yeah, you could close your eyes all you want. You're not refuting
Where's the contradiction? Where's the contradiction?
So basically, right, an infinite regression claims that each individual conditioned reality is its own agent, while simultaneously implying that it's a secondary cause. And you do know you can't have a secondary cause without it being posterior to a first, in which an infinite regress outright denies.
Why not? Why can't we have a secondary
Because an
cause?
infinite regress denies a prime mover, but you can't have a secondary cause without a prime.
That doesn't make it false.
Okay, but infinite regress implies only a series of secondary causes.
Why is that?
You can't have a secondary cause without it being posterior to a first.
Why do we need a secondary cause? Why?
What? That's the whole purpose of infinite regress. It's a secondary cause process.
Why can't we have an infinite causal chain?
Secondary causal chain. Please use the right terms, please.
Why can't we have an infinite causal chain? Why is that impossible? Why can't we have an infinite regression?
You need it violates the law of non-contradiction because simply you need a prime mover to have a secondary cause.
Why do we need a prime mover?
What is a secondary cause?
What do you mean? Why do we need a prime mover to cause?
What is a secondary cause? You learned this in kindergarten.
What do you mean, sir? What is secondary cause? I'm asking.
A secondary cause, right? A secondary cause, a secondary source, a conditioned reality.
Stop.
Follows a prime reality.
Why do we need a prime mover? Why can't we have an infinite causal chain? Where's the contradiction?
Bro, you just don't listen, right? So I told you, this is the third time. Please just listen and respond. Don't cut off. If an infinite regress is defined to be an infinite series of secondary causes that follow one after another, and a secondary cause is described to be that which follows from a first cause, but the whole idea of an infinite regress denies a first cause, it would basically be saying there exists no first cause, but there exist secondary causes, which is like stupid because you can't have a secondary cause without a first cause. It's just basic language.
Why not? Why can't we have a secondary cause without a first cause?
That's language, bro. That's like saying you could have space without time. That's literally look up the descriptions. What is a secondary cause? It is a cause following after the prime reality and the prime cause. You learned this in kindergarten. Did you fail kindergarten English?
Why can't we have an infinite reality where there's an infinite regression? Why is that impossible? And if you're only going to say that, well, we can't have a secondary cause. Well, why can't we view time and space as an infinite block where there is no time, there's no temporal sense of causation. It's just a spatial causation where there's no time required. So why is that possible? Where you have an infinite line of things that exist for each other.
Are you goofy? You can't have time without space and space without time.
Time could be itself. Again, we talked about this before. Time doesn't pass. You don't need time passing, right? Time is just like space. So just as space Do you agree that all the space can exist out there in the universe infinitely?
Infinitely? No.
So you don't think space can be infinite?
No. Why would it be?
Wow. Okay. So you don't. So you
Can you
think.
demonstrate me like any like
So
possible
wait.
evidence or
So you don't
consistency?
think. So you don't think space can be infinite? It's impossible.
Oh no, I don't think it's impossible. I just don't
Oh,
believe.
great. So great. So then you just conceded to debate, because the point is space is time.
No,
They're
it's
the
not.
same things. They're the same things in relativity.
No, they're not. They're distinct.
Yes, they are. They're the same
No,
things in
they're
relativity.
distinct. You learned this in like.
They're the same things in relativity. Time and space are the
No,
same
they
things,
are
and they are
not.
and they can both be infinite.
What?
What?
I didn't hear what you said.
Nice
Can you
try
repeat
it
that,
with all
sir?
this philosophical mumbo jumbo, but it's stupid. The
Wait, you
fact of
do know if
reality
you wait, you
is
do
you
know that if
have not
I
presented logic for God.
wait, you
Still
do
have
know that
not
if we
presented
say that the
logic for
universe
God.
is possibly infinite, that doesn't do
By the way,
anything.
you still have not presented evidence for your
Why
Allah
does
God,
saying the
who
universe is
rode a magic
possibly
flying horse to the
why
moon and
is
split the
saying
moon in half.
why is saying that the universe is possibly
Your
infinite a problem?
Islam is nonsense, just like
Why
you.
is
Go
saying
give
that
us
the
logic for
universe is
God. Give us
possibly
logic.
infinite a
Give
problem?
us evidence, sir. This is the
Why
last
is
time. This is the last time I'm going to ask you this, right? Give us evidence for God to go away.
how can I give evidence when you mute me, cut me off, interrupt?
Go. You're wasting time. Give evidence.
No,
for
I
God.
already gave the evidence. Are you gonna object it?
What's the evidence? Say it again for us, because you didn't hear.
Yeah, I'm gonna say for the 5th time because you don't put your listening ears on, right? Big ass earlobes can't listen, right? You need to get some sense knocked into you. But anyways, right? Let me get into it. I already explained the language contradiction between secondary causation being absence of the quality of prime causation. And you have not responded to it.
I showed you
All
that.
you said,
That's
hold
not
on.
evidence for God. That's not evidence for God.
Oh my! No. Okay, that was evidence to what's it called? Destroy the objection you brought forth to me, which leaves us with the only
It
conclusion
didn't,
being
because
God.
you can have an infinite chain of secondary causes.
How?
Just like we can have infinite space. It's the same thing.
I
It's
just
the
don't know
same
how to
idea.
respond to something so stupid. Like, you
It's the
just have to
same
pause
thing.
at something so dumb.
Do you agree that that space can be infinite? If yes, then you agree that time and space can be infinite, and hence the universe can be infinite. It's the same shit.
Listen, you have yet to prove why time and space are identical. Prove that, number one, right? Number two,
They're definitionally the same.
now you're referring back to language. I've been referring back to language the entire debate, and you've been just
But the problem with
ignoring
your
it.
language is that it doesn't comport to reality, in the sense that
Comport to reality?
That your infinite regression thing hinges on the notion of temporal notions of time, where that's not how time actually works. Time could be a static dimension where there is no causal chain.
It literally can't. It literally can't.
There is no causes within time. Causation can happen without time.
No. What? No, are you dumb? Oh my god, time, literally time
Yes.
by the No, it
Time
can't.
can incorporate-
Causation can't
you can
happen
have
without
causation,
time.
sir.
What is causation?
We
Can you
can have
just
a
tell me?
chain. We can have a chain of events without time, without a passage of time.
Wait, what is causation? Please tell me.
Causation is when cause and effect, right? We can have this without a changing of time. We can have time.
Really? Oh, really? Okay.
All events laid out on this block.
Wait, okay. That's a horrible point. So
this is what relativity shows us. You don't need God. You don't need Magic Man for this. And by the way, even if you're right that the universe has to have a cause, we can just say there is a quantum field or quantum fluctuation that precedes.
No. I'll kill that argument too. That's so trash.
Yeah.
No, we could get into that. I've already. Oh my god, the quantum field argument is so trash. Oh my god.
It's not an argument.
It's
not an argument.
No, it's an argument for it being the beginning of the universe is the worst argument I've ever heard in my life.
It's not the beginning of a universe. You don't even know what you're talking about.
I meant the cause of the universe. My bad. Cause. Listen, anyways, listen. I'm saying if you were to pose that a quantum field would be the cause of the universe is so dumb. Anyways, right?
Why?
Yes, I said we could get into that after I just let me respond to what you just said earlier. Damn. Right, listen. So you just said, right, that what's it called? You could have cause and effect in the absence of time. Can you tell me empirically what time is? No, I'm not talking about time extramentally. I'm talking about time into which what we observe it. You said we perceive time as something that, moves. There's movement, motion. It's relative, correct? Empirically.
Time is just a temporal dimension of the universe.
And it is motion. It's not motionless. It completely undergoes
Yeah,
change.
motion is a relative term, right? It's not a fundamental feature of reality.
Yes, that doesn't matter. Stop committing a red herring. Please just focus.
Okay, great.
Right?
So why do you care about motion if it's
because I'm
it's
saying
not relative?
cause and effect can only be done in a progression of events and motion.
Yeah.
Cause and effect cannot happen in the absence of motion.
Yeah, and this progression of events can happen without a sense of time that is changing. Time doesn't have to change for
That
cause.
is the dude. You just contradicted yourself in one sentence.
Why?
Please repeat that for everybody
What's
to
the
hear.
contradiction?
Wait, please repeat that for everybody to hear what you just said. You just said that you could have cause and effect without time that is changing.
Yeah, this is what relativity shows us. This is what relativity shows us, that motion is a relative term and that we still have a sense of cause and effect without time passing. Because
How? Cause is literally the progression of events.
Hold on, because causality is emergent, right? It's not fundamental.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly, which debunks your entire point.
Are you dumb? To be emergent means you move. You know that, right?
What? Emergent doesn't mean you move.
Yeah, to be emergent definitely doesn't mean you be a stale block that doesn't do anything.
Yes, it does. So
oh my God, you're going against the dictionary. What is emergent, bro? You're making up your own stuff. You don't know what you're talking about.
I do,
you're
because
making up your own
you
stuff.
don't, right? The universe can be defined as a block universe where there's 4 dimensions statically existing eternally.
Yeah, cool. That's fine. Can you open your computer and search up emergent?
But our
right
perspective
now?
of things,
Philosophically, what does emergent mean?
Our perception of things as beings, we can have a sense of causality emerge from our brain chemistry, our brains.
So wait, can you have an eternal thing that is emergent?
Yes, you can have eternity.
You're the dumbest human in the entire planet. Please end your live. Search up emergent.
Okay, great.
Right now.
So why can't space-time be eternal?
No. Oh my God, you just, how can an emergent thing be eternal? Are you dumb? Emergent comes from being in absence of reality prior and then come about.
No, it doesn't. That's not
it
what
literally
emergence
does.
means.
It's a definition.
It means it's a property that the first things don't have, but it emerges from it. What collectively,
oh my God,
that's what happens.
So wait, see, you're not responding. Again, this is the third time. So to emerge is to be absent of what you were before and then come about, correct?
It's what the first things don't have necessarily, and individually speaking, but collectively they do, right? There's a difference there. It's not that it's absent. It's that collectively speaking, it only emerges. On an individual basis, it doesn't. Like for example, a molecule of water isn't wet, but wetness emerges when you have a bunch of these molecules together. That's emergence. The same with the universe, right?
Yeah. I agree. Collectively, it would not be absent. But wait.
So great. So what is your evidence that God exists?
Wait. Why are you just moving on like that? You didn't respond. Damn. Right.
You didn't respond to my argument. You're not showing the contradiction to an eternal universe.
Listen, you do know that even if I grant an eternal universe, that doesn't mean God doesn't exist or God can't be the cause.
I never said that.
Yeah, I know you didn't say that, but I'm just saying the eternal universe point is kind of stupid when you bring it up. But I'm just destroying it because it's a horrible argument. So anyways, right?
So it's not an argument, right? It's a fact of reality that the universe can be eternal. Now I'm asking you.
How is it a fact of reality? It's a potential. Potentials aren't facts in reality. They're literally the opposite.
It's a fact that it's potential.
It's a fact that it's potential?
Yeah, that's what I said.
No, that's not what you say. You said it's a fact in reality. No, it's a fact that it's a potential in reality.
It's a fact of reality.
There's a difference.
It's a fact of reality that it's possible.
Listen, bro, you just don't know how to talk English. You messed up so many times, right? So anyways.
Okay, so show us the contradiction in the universe that's eternal again. Let's hear it.
Why do you look, if we're in the middle of arguing, Mike, why do you stop, go all the way back, pretend like we're not arguing and be like, oh, can you prove it, as if we're not doing that right now?
Because so far you've done nothing but blabber.
No, I mean, you could think that. That doesn't mean I'm actually
Great, so give us the argument that shows us that the universe can't be eternal when this is the position of multiple scientists.
Who cares what these scientists say? They're all wrong. Every single one of them.
Oh, wow. So you think the scientists are all wrong?
Yeah, so many philosophers believe the universe can't be eternal.
So then what is your logic that demonstrates the universe?
Yeah, so many philosophers believe the universe can't be eternal. I take philosophers over scientists.
Okay, great. So what's the logic that shows us the universe can't be eternal? What's the logic behind that?
Yeah. By just observing what the universe is and how it contradicts like basic modal logic.
What's the logic that the universe can't be eternal? Where is the reason?
Look, Mike. I'm not gonna repeat this again. I told you because the universe moves and undergoes motion
No, it
empirically.
doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Empirically, I'm
No,
saying
it doesn't.
empirically.
No,
Empirically, dumbass. Empirically.
no.
So you're going back on your words.
What do you mean by the universe here?
Oh, so okay. Let me just define it for the 17th time. The universe being time, space, and matter.
Yeah, it doesn't move, objectively speaking. That's only relatively speaking.
Okay, so objectively speaking would be mind independently. We already established that we're not talking about.
No, it doesn't.
We're not talking about the mind independent existence of time, space, and matter. We're talking. What do you mean? Stop. You literally said the perception we have of time moves. You said this.
Do you think it's possible that the universe is static? It doesn't move. Is it possible?
Static and what is it? No.
No? Okay, great. So where's the contradiction in a static universe of space and time? Where's the contradiction there? Why is it impossible?
Because, again, right, if time is defined, if the universe is defined with time or as time, right, and time collectively is understood to be something that isn't static, then that's just linguistically contradictory.
I just literally showed you that time, as Einstein showed it, can be static.
I already refuted that.
Oh, you refuted relativity?
No, I didn't refute relativity. Okay, I refuted your understanding of Einstein's theory.
So what did you refute?
What? Yeah, I just said I refuted your understanding of the theory.
What? Sir, show us where...
Saying what is not going to help you. I mean, it's kind of easy to understand.
You're blabbering. Show us why it's impossible for the universe to be eternal.
Yeah, I already gave my evidence. Are you going to object it, or are you just going to keep repeating yourself over and over like a bot?
The objection is the fact that the universe can be eternal because
why? Show me a consistency why it can be. Please, go ahead.
Because you just conceded before that space can be infinite.
No, I didn't.
Oh, so you don't think space can be infinite?
Right. Even if I said it did, I want you to prove it's identical to time.
No. Do you think space?
You said there's no difference between time and space, and they're interlinked and identical. Prove this.
Yes.
Yeah,
so can you demonstrate?
Can you prove they're identical?
Yes, they're definitionally the same. That's proof that they're the same.
So why do we have two different terms for time and space? How do we perceive them as two different things if they're exactly
because they're just two dimensions. There's two aspects of seeing the same thing.
Okay, so let's go over the definition of identical. What does identical mean?
Sir, can you give us evidence that the universe can't be infinite or that space can't be infinite?
Stop. Can you give evidence that it's possible? Please go ahead.
Yes, there's no contradiction. That means it's possible.
No, I don't agree with prima facie justification. It's argument from ignorance.
What is the contradiction in this?
Argument from ignorance, fallacy, argument from ignorance, blah, blah, blah.
Sir,
because you see no contradiction does not mean that no contradiction exists. For all we know, a contradiction may exist. We both just may not know it in this debate.
It means it's possible, right? So
no, it doesn't.
So okay, great. So if you can't point out a contradiction, then it's still possible.
It's not.
Okay, great. Then show us why.
Let me explain.
Then show us why
the
it's
possibility
impossible.
of something does not depend on this debate. If me and you both don't know
Sir,
of a contradiction to this thing,
I know.
okay, if you know, then why are you saying such a stupid thing? Use your brain, right? Listen. Because we don't know of a contradiction does not mean a contradiction doesn't exist. So go ahead. Why is it possible?
That's not what I said.
You said there was no contradiction.
Stop. You're being dishonest. What I said was this. If you can't point out a contradiction, which you're not doing, then it means it's possible.
No, he literally said there was no contradiction. Everybody heard you say it.
Yes, there's no contradiction. Do you have
exactly.
one? Do you have
that?
Do you have a contradiction? I don't see. There is no contradiction in the spatial temporal.
Okay, wait. Why is there no contradiction? Just because I don't present a contradiction doesn't mean there is no
mathematically and logically and scientifically works. There's no contradiction at all. It's not.
Why? Can you show me the method? Like how you asked me, can I prove God with logic? You want me to go through the process? Go ahead. Go through the process.
It's basic mathematics, right? We have time and space being dimensions, a four-dimensional thing, and these can go on forever in an infinite way.
That's begging the question. Restating the claim in a different way does not mean you're proving the claim.
Yeah, that's the claim. Now demonstrate that it's wrong. Right?
No, you're begging the question. That's not okay. God exists. Demonstrate it's wrong. That's the same thing you're doing.
No, the difference is we have evidence of relativity, and there's no evidence of
the
God.
evidence instead of restating the claim.
The evidence of relativity is in mathematics and physics.
It's the same thing. You're not doing anything.
Listen. The evidence of relativity is in physics and math and with light. When it comes to God, you have no evidence for God. You have no logic for God.
No proof. You can think that. There's many proof. You're just ignorant of it.
Great. So what's the proof for God?
So I already gave it. Anyways, Mike, can you prove it's identical? Time and
Great.
space
So
are identical.
what's the proof of God?
Can
Then?
you prove time and space are identical? You haven't proved that yet. Stop trying to run away.
Yeah.
You're
So
trying to run away. You can't prove it. You know you can't prove it. Why is time and space identical? You've been running for like
they're
5
identical.
minutes.
They're the same things. They're just two words to describe the same
To
thing.
be identical to something means you absolutely share no distinctive features and properties, and you're absolutely the same in everything. But if we have the term time and we have the term space, and we are combining these two, like we are making a conjunction between them.
Look. Listen, they're just two words that describe the same thing, right? Just spatial temporal dimensions.
No, I don't agree to that.
So you don't think time is a dimension and space are dimensions?
No, not that. I believe there's distinctive properties that makes them two different terms. I don't believe
What are the distinct properties?
I don't believe in that theory of language. You just said that you just said there are two terms that describe the same thing.
What are the distinct properties?
What are their distinctive properties?
Yeah. What's the difference?
That you could have space. I retract this from earlier. You could have space without time and time, but you can't have time without space.
No, sir. That's gibberish.
No, it's not gibberish.
What is the distinction between space and time?
Yeah, I just said you could have space without time, but you can't have time without space.
Why not?
Yeah, because space, all it really is, right? Oh, wait, no. I'm so dumb. Why am I just not saying this? Time is one-dimensional and space is three-dimensional. I'm so dumb. I could have just said that.
No, you can have one dimensions of space. They're just dimension. What? They're just like time is one dimension, space is one dimension.
No, space is 3 dimensions.
No, you can have two.
Literally, space is 3 dimensions.
You can have a one-dimensional space. You can have 2-dimensional space. You can have 3-dimensional space.
Yeah, you could have one-dimensional space, but that doesn't mean that one-dimensional space is identical to one dimension of time.
I never said that they're
it's
linguistically identical, sir. What I'm saying is that
it's like saying you could. It's like saying you could have 3 cups.
Stop talking. I never said that they're linguistically identical. What I'm saying is that what these two different words are describing are the same things. Dimensions of spatial temporal.
Yeah, I don't agree to that, Mike. I don't believe that 2 different terms can describe the same thing.
Why not?
Because I believe in the law of identity. I believe law of identity states that A equals A, that one term would only be identical to one meaning.
Okay, so this bottle,
like universal.
So this bottle is a container.
Do you not believe in the law of identity?
So this is a bottle and a container. Do you agree?
Is this a bottle and a container?
Yeah, they're 2 words to
describe
the same thing.
Conjunction.
Okay, great. That doesn't defy the law of identity by calling this thing 2 different words.
Oh my God! The 2 different terms we just used aren't defining the same thing in meaning.
Yes, they are. They're describing this entity. It's a bottle in a container.
No, they're not. No,
they're not. So this is not a container or a bottle.
No, a bottle is identical to a different meaning or a distinctive meaning than a container. Just because you conjunct the 2 and they refer to something that
they refer to the same thing.
Has both properties does not mean that they're the same in meaning.
They're just different words. I know they're not linguistically identical, but they're just
okay. That's my point. So you didn't prove anything.
They're synonyms. That's the point.
No, they're not. A container and a bottle.
Yes, they're synonyms. That's the same thing with space-time.
No. Oh wait, Mike, are you dumb?
No,
you just conceded.
You
just lost. Wait, you just lost. If they were synonyms, right?
What?
Then they are not. You just said time and space are synonyms. If they're synonyms, then they're not identical because to be synonymous means to lack at least something to make you distinct but yet similar. You just conceded they're not identical, you idiot. You just lost. You just lost.
This is so embarrassing.
You just lost, yo. You just lost.
No. So again, I agree to you that they're linguistically different. There are 2 different words to describe the same thing.
Mike, you
but
conceded.
the bottle,
You
stop.
conceded.
The bottle and the container are different words to describe the same entity. Just like space and time are different words to describe the same entity.
No, you're a dummy. You said they're synonyms.
They're synonyms. Space and time are synonyms for temporal.
Wait, so by the way, you keep saying linguistically. Do you not believe that the expressors and the descriptions of terms refer to the actual reality of it?
Yeah, so just like space and time refer to the same
reality.
Wait,
yes or no? Like you believe that the descriptors refer to the actual reality? Because last time we spoke, you said that the definitions we have to things aren't the actual descriptors of the reality of it, but perhaps what we just perceive of it.
I never said that.
You said this about time.
Definitions describe reality. Now
Okay,
go
cool.
ahead
So if
and
they
give us
describe
logic.
reality and there's distinctions between the linguistics, then there's distinctions between the reality of the
Oh
properties.
my
Therefore,
God.
it's
Blah,
a
blah, blah,
say
blah, 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 blah.
if you
Okay,
say they're
stop,
synonymous
stop
and
yapping. Stop
that's
yapping.
not yapping. Just because you don't understand doesn't mean it's yap. You could
No,
think that.
you're not saying anything.
You
Give
could
us
think
logic.
that.
Stop. I explained to you that space and time are two different
Stop.
words. Listen, listen, listen. Space and time are two different words to describe the same thing.
You're
Now,
getting
why
fried right now, bro.
do you disagree? Why do you disagree?
What? Can you repeat the claim, please, kind sir?
This is the last
Or
time I'm going
can
to
you
repeat
repeat the
this.
question, kind sir?
Space and time are
Okay, sorry, sir.
two words to describe the same thing. Why do you disagree?
Yeah, so I believe I have to repeat myself. So two descriptors of one thing. Two different terms that describe the same one thing. I disagree with this by virtue of the law of identity. I don't follow this theory of language. I believe that one term universally is only identical to one specific meaning, and there's no such thing as two different terms that refer to one ultimate meaning.
So when somebody
What's it
says
called? I
Mike,
already
so when somebody refers to me as Mike or he or him, does that mean I'm different than him or me or Mike? Am I different than those things?
No, but that doesn't mean that but that doesn't mean the terms refer to the same thing
Okay,
in
great.
meaning or
Yes, it
identical
does.
to the
The
meaning.
terms refer to the same thing.
You're defining the terms, right, relative to a specific context. That's not how you define terms. That's literally a wrong way of thinking. You describe terms in the absence
Oh
of
my
your
God,
context
this
to
is so
terms are
embarrassing, dude.
universal.
This is so
Stop trying to
embarrassing,
deny
bro.
universals. He is a
Listen,
pronoun. He is a pronoun.
yeah,
Mike
and
is
it
just a
refers
name,
to
and it
it
could be.
refers to me the same, and it refers to
He
me
is
the
not
same thing.
identical to you. Yeah, that's when it's ascribed
Yes,
to a
it
context.
is.
That's not
When I say Mike,
universally
or he or him,
it's not overly applied to you.
those are just descriptors for what we think I am, right? So there are two different words to
Yes,
describe
when
the
you
same
ascribe
thing.
them to your context.
Okay.
Okay,
Great. So
they're
just
the
like
words in the
this,
absence
so
of
just
referring
like
to you.
great. So you agree
Are you
that two
listening?
different words. So then you agree that two words can explain the same thing. So just like space and time,
No.
they're
You're
two
not
different
understanding. Can you just shut
words.
up and listen?
Great. So you agree now that two different words can describe the same thing, just like space and time are two
Agreed.
different
I
things.
never agreed.
Are the two different words, but
What
describe the
does
same
time
thing.
mean? Oh no, what does
There you
he
go.
mean? What does he
You're
mean
overthinking
without
this.
the?
So go ahead and give us logic for God
Can
now.
you wait? Can you hear me? Hello, like what? Can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
What's your logic for
Can
God?
you hear me?
What's your logic for God?
Oh, can you not hear me the entire time? Yeah, right. I said the absence of ascribing it to the context of you.
What? What did you say?
What am I lagging or something? Can you not hear me? Right. I'm saying, what does the word he refer to without referring, like with the context of referring at yourself? Let's say take the context of Mike out. What does he mean individually? What does this term mean?
Yeah. So the point is that we have two words to describe the same thing, right? Like we have
Oh my God,
person, Mike, him. They describe the same thing, just like space and
slow. How slow, yet you make fun of theists for believing in God. This is so sad.
Yeah.
I just
so
said,
do you agree that two?
if you use the word he,
so listen. This is the last time I'm gonna like say this, right? This is pretty embarrassing.
okay.
Do you agree
I mean,
that?
you could.
Do you
I mean, it's
agree
pretty
that?
embarrassing for you. You're not responding to
Sir,
anything I'm saying. You're running away. You're beating around.
Stop. So do you agree that we can have two words to describe this? I can describe this as
No,
a
I already
Fiji bottle
explained
or
why,
a
and I already
bottle
refuted.
or a container.
No, I already explained
or
why I refuted all your points.
or a liquid container, right? I can use all these words to describe the same thing, just like space time, right? Space and time are two different words to describe the same thing.
No,
So
I already explained.
why do you disagree?
Mike already explained this. Can you? Okay, if you were listening to me, can you tell me what my point was?
Yeah, your point is that they're not identical.
Yeah,
which
why?
I showed you that
That's
I
not
know
my point. That's just
linguistically
a
the
statement
word's
I made.
not it. Which I showed
So
you
I
that
asked
they're
you
not.
what my point was, not my statement.
Okay,
I asked
you're
you.
lagging. You're lagging
Tell me
so
more.
much here. You're lagging so much. This is really annoying, right? I can't believe I had to explain this to people.
Okay, is it better now?
Space and time are two different
Is it
words to
better now?
describe the same thing. And when it comes to words, they're just linguistic definitions for things. We can describe space and time as one entity, space-time we call it. And that's it. Space and time are the same things. Time is just one dimension, space is just another dimension. We put them together, we get 4 dimensions of space-time. And this is why the universe can be eternal. There's no need for a beginning, there's no need for a cause, there's no need for a God. So, I'm tired of this nonsense. It's time for you to give logic for God.
Well,
So
that's a
either
non
give logic
sequitur.
for God or go away. Give logic for God
That's
or
a
go
non
away.
sequitur. Yeah, so I already told you, right? I already refuted all the points that you said, right? Every single one about the identity statement. So get that out the way. Stop saying that you could have 2 terms for one specific.
So the reason why this is not defined the law of identity is because I'm not saying that this
Mike,
is.
I told you. Tell me my point.
I'm not saying that a bottle is something different than a bottle, right? I'm not saying that this bottle is equal to a car, right? That would be law of identity being contradicted.
No, yeah,
What
that
I'm
would be one
saying is
form of
that this
violating it.
bottle is the same thing as the bottle, and the container is the same thing as this container. And there's like space is the same thing as space. Time is the same thing. They're the
Yeah,
same thing.
Mike, do you think the law of identity is eternal, by the way?
The law of identity is a descriptor for reality.
Yeah, is it eternal?
It's mind dependent.
Yeah, but is it an eternal abstraction?
I don't know what you mean by eternal. I don't know what that means.
So it
What do you
just
mean?
always
How
exists.
is-
It's
how
just
is it-
it's just
how is
always
a-
there as
How
explaining
is a
reality.
word? How is a word in eternal? That's a category error.
I'm not talking about the word, the actual ontology of it and how it describes reality. Is it always there?
There's no ontology.
There is no ontology, then we wouldn't even know what the law of identity is, moron. Like, are you good?
No, we know it because we can describe reality.
Was there a
using-
point in time where let's say, was there a point in time where a singular atom was not identical to that very same atom?
Yeah, so you're confusing the map for the territory. This is a version of the transcendental argument that failed miserably because logic is a descriptor for reality.
Yeah, I know.
So any truth claims you make about reality are also descriptive, which means that truth is dependent on
So there's
minds.
an ontology because ontology deals with descriptions. Goofy.
Yeah, logic doesn't have an ontology.
Logic doesn't have an ontology. Ontology just means explanation and descriptors, my bad, to a reality. If logic has no explanations or descriptors of reality, then we know nothing of logic. So what is even logic? It's the same as saying logic is blah, 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 blah. It's the same thing as saying that.
Logic has a separate ontology to nature, or to
Okay,
existence.
so he just went from saying logic has no ontology to logic has a separate ontology from nature. Nice concession, just contradicted yourself, Goofy.
No,
It's the 50th time.
so there are some atheists who are Platonists who think that it does have an ontology. I don't think it does. I think it's just a language. And so if you're going to say that logic is, or that language has an ontology, of course, I agree with you there. Language has an ontology.
So it has an ontology, right?
But logic does not have an ontology. It's not a real thing that has a nature of existence. Logic is just a language. In that view,
Why
that's
doesn't
all
it
it
have
is.
a nature of existence, Mike? Can you prove this claim?
Yeah, there's no evidence of logic being.
Oh my
coming up
god,
with-
again with the prima facie justification. This is an argument from ignorance fallacy. Go ahead.
I'm not saying I can prove it. What I'm saying is that there's no evidence of logic. There's no good arguments or reasoning behind logic having some
But
kind of
that's just
ontology.
your ignorance. Just because, I may not have...
Okay, great. So then give me evidence that logic
No,
has some.
I'm saying
ontology.
even if I don't give you the evidence, it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that you can make the claim that it has no nature and reality. Just because I don't give you evidence
That's what I
and you
hold to.
stay...
That's what
Mike,
seems
Mike,
likely,
listen,
right?
you could go your entire life and you could pass away without ever seeing evidence why logic has a nature and reality, right?
I understand.
But that does
I
not
understand.
mean you could say that it doesn't.
Listen. I understand that.
Oh my god, sir, are you getting mad?
My claim is that I don't know if logic has an ontology, but I hold the position that it doesn't.
You're switching your claims every
It's
second.
highly unlikely. It is highly unlikely. So if you just listen and let me speak, you can understand that logic, to me, I hold the position that it has no ontology. And that's it. That's my position. Why? Because it's highly unlikely that it is the case that it does. Which now, if you're making the claim that logic has an ontology, then it's your job to now demonstrate that. So either demonstrate that claim or go away.
Yeah, okay, so you just said three very stupid things, right? So number one, you said logic has no ontology universally and collectively, but then you later conceded that claim by saying you believe that in forms of linguistics and language, it has an ontology. So that's one contradiction, right? Horrible
Yeah.
contradiction on your part.
So
Right, hold on, let me finish. I literally let you speak. Why are you cutting me off?
No, you didn't listen to what I said. You're not quite understanding. I'm just doing an internal critique, right? I'm going from your point of view. Logic doesn't have an ontology. Right? From your point of view, logic doesn't have an ontology. But from mine, if I'm gonna say logic is a language, then it does have an ontology because language has an ontology. But the point I'm trying to make you understand that from your frame of reference where you think logic does have an ontology, I'm saying it doesn't outside of language, right? So now do you understand?
Dude, no, yeah, I've been understood. But do you know ontology just means it's like an explanation of the reality itself. So listen, hold on, listen, Mike, just listen. Okay, right? Logic, if it had no ontology, meaning it had no explanations and descriptions of it, then we don't know what logic is. So when somebody goes up to you and goes like, hey, Mike, I just learned this new...
Yeah, we do know what logic is. It's just a language.
Okay, so stop saying from my worldview, if you say logic is just a language into how we understand reality, then it's an ontology because it has descriptions, yes or no?
Language is an ontology, yes.
Okay, but if logic is language and language is an ontology, what does this mean?
Yes, I just explained this to you.
So is logic an ontology by that logic?
From my point of view, logic being language, yes. But from your point of view, what you think logic is, or logic's ontology, is somehow beyond the mind. And I'm saying in that sense of ontology, it
beyond
doesn't.
The mind, of course, because Mike, the law of identity exists even if I don't exist.
So do you agree that logic depends on the mind?
No.
Okay, great. So that's where we disagree, right? You think
of
that
course,
it does,
but we didn't
doesn't.
disagree on the ontology of it, so I don't know why you were
Yes, we do disagree with the ontology of it. You're saying that it has ontology in nature or in the universe.
No, that's disagreeing on what the ontology is. You were disagreeing that it had an ontology to begin with.
Yes, that's the point. That's the point. So
okay,
now,
so Mike, listen, you know why it's mind independent? Yeah, do you know why it doesn't depend on the mind? Do you know why? I already told you this.
Why?
The law of identity, for example, states that in existence is identical to its existence, and it was never at one point not itself. So let's bring me an example of something that existed before time. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's merely a descriptor for it.
Can you just tell me what existed before time? Name one thing.
So nothing existed before time. There was no before time for something to exist.
Okay. So if you're going to say time is an eternal static, okay, we could say that too. Cool, whatever, right? So let's say, give me an example of something that exists. Just anything.
The Earth.
Okay. Was there a point in time where the Earth was not the Earth?
No, it was always it was in terms of matter, it was always there.
Yeah, so was the Earth always just itself? Was the Earth always identical to the Earth? The Earth was not Jupiter at one point in time.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so that's the law of identity. It precedes human mind.
Yeah, that's merely a descriptor for it, right? And again,
cool. That's all it is. It's a descriptor of reality.
Yeah,
that's literally what it is.
And descriptions depend on minds. So if there's no minds to describe it, there's no logic.
No. The ontology exists in the absence of the mind. The mind is just used to understand and perceive it.
How do you know that? Why is that needed?
By like literally just deducing it and observing reality too.
Deducing what? Your shit? Deducing what? You took a deuce? What
deducing? Deducing.
I just explained this to you. Maybe you're too ignorant to understand this, but let me explain it again to you. Okay. When you say what existed before the Earth, right? When you say that garbage to make it seem as if logic has some normative notion in reality that goes beyond the mind. The problem is that in itself is a descriptor, and that descriptor hinges on minds. So without minds, you have no description to make about reality, which means that logic, the law of identity, all the laws of non-contradiction in School of Middle, all of these hinge upon minds. And if there's nobody to be a mind there to describe those laws, the laws don't exist. They don't have ontology outside of the minds. So that's the point. This is the failed transcendental argument.
Go ahead.
It's a bad one, and it shows how much you don't understand logic.
Yes, a very arrogant claim from you, especially when you didn't know what time was, you didn't know what potentiality was, you didn't know what ontology
I
was, right?
explained to you what time is. I said time was a
No,
dimension.
you didn't. I beat you up on that. I embarrassed you. But anyways, right, Mike, you proved my point. Did the Earth come before humans? Yes or no?
The Earth come before humans. Yeah, the Earth was here before us.
Okay, and we already established and reached a synthesis that the Earth is identical to itself, and the Earth, there was never a point in time that the Earth was never the Earth. It was always that the Earth is the Earth,
Yeah,
and this
again,
Earth preceded our existence.
I just
So we,
explained this to you. Like I just explained
so
it to
listen.
you.
Can I finish? You don't feel like I just explained this. Yeah, shut up. Your explanations suck. Like, listen. I already explained to you. We use our perception to grasp the ontology of logic, but that does not mean that logic is an abstraction, did not come before us as explaining or being the nature of reality.
Great. So then,
Because
now,
if
now you're
logic,
making.
hold on, listen, just let me finish. Listen, if the law of identity did only exist as long as human minds exist to perceive it as so, right? Then the Earth cannot be just the Earth. The Earth, it could possibly, it could, hold on, let me finish. It could possibly be that the Earth.
Yeah. So now, again, you missed everything I just told you. You're confusing the map for the territory, right? What you're saying is that our logic is identical to reality or identical to nature. And you're trying to say the logic. You're trying to say the logic is somehow prescriptive to nature, that it comes or precedes it. No, logic does not. The universe does not care about logic, right? We care about logic because it is a way we describe. It's a language that we use to describe nature. The universe doesn't care about logic. It doesn't look for laws of logic and follow them. That's how we interpret the universe, right? So when you say, well, the Earth would be the Earth even without humans, yes, but that statement itself is a descriptor, which means that without minds, there's nobody to describe it. That's all that means. So stop confusing the map for the territory. I agree that there's an objective reality beyond our minds. I agree that there's a universe out there that transcends our minds. Sure. But that doesn't mean that there's logic beyond our minds. It means that there's some mysterious existence that all we have epistemic access to is through our observations.
Why do you keep muting me, bro?
So go ahead. Did you understand everything I just told you?
Yes, and it was horrible. Just complete trash. You just waffled.
Great. So where's your refutation?
Right.
So where's the
So
refutation?
you literally said our logic. That's already a complete presupposition to begin with, because nobody makes the claim that it's our logic, right? Logic is axiomatic, and it's not. There's no such thing as our logic. That's the most dumb claim I've ever heard. Logic is not subject to
Why
one
can't
person.
Why can't logic be axiomatic and dependent on our minds?
Well, why can't logic be axiomatic? You said.
Why can't logic be axiomatically dependent on the minds?
Axiomatically dependent on the mind. Are you good? Do you? Well, that's a contradiction. Axiomatic means something that is just assumed to be true and is extramental. How can it be? How can it be extramentally
Those
dependent on the
axioms are
mind?
coming from our minds.
Axioms come from minds.
Minds.
Oh my God, bro! What college did you go to, bro?
Where do you think they come from?
Are you dumb? Axioms don't come from the mind. Axioms are things that are assumed to be true. You can't prove them using the mind. You can't even. You can barely understand them. They're brute facts.
Assumptions are mind dependent.
They're brute facts.
Which are mind dependent.
Brute facts are mind dependent.
Yeah, facts are descriptors, which are mind dependent.
Yo, you're so dumb. What do you mean brute facts are mind dependent? What is a brute fact?
It is a fact that we assume about reality. Finish it. Having no explanation.
Yeah, having no explanation. Correct. Perfect. Right. So, how can a brute fact, something that exists and is assumed to be true, and something that we can never get an explanation for, that has no explanation, has no reason for its existence, right? How does this depend on the mind?
Because that descriptor in itself is mind dependent. The sheer description that things have no explanations is
okay, cool. We can make a distinction between the descriptor and ontology of a term and the actual reality of it.
Do it.
So what?
Do it.
Okay, so your point is destroyed if I say that.
Yeah, go ahead and do it. Show me I'm wrong.
Okay, so yeah, like I said, what we understand of a brute fact, I use your own logic against you. We could say that according to our perception, what a brute fact is may not actually be what a brute fact is in reality extramentally. So that's perfectly fine. If we view these definitions as something
that's not a refutation, right?
It is, because I'm saying that if the definitions are only subject to our mind, and what's it called? this brute fact can be something other than what we described it to be, because our inductive conclusion was false, right? Then it's as simple as that. We just got it wrong. We described it wrong and poorly. Simple as that.
What? You're just yapping at this moment. So
Okay, how am I yapping? Wait, I'm just saying
because
we
you
could
haven't put
describe
the,
something.
because you
I'm
haven't
saying
put
we could
the,
describe it as we could describe it falsely, but how we describe the term and its ontology according to us may be false simply, right? So then the actual reality of it
yeah, false
isn't dependent
statements
on
and
what we
true
describe it
statements
to
are
be.
mind dependent as well. Again, everything we know about logic is mind dependent. There's
So do you agree
nothing
that if
outside.
something is mind dependent, that it only exists as so far as the mind exists?
Yep.
Okay, and if we grant that this existence is only as so far the mind exists, does that mean that the mind has to intend its existence, or at least acknowledge it or know of it, or reason it for it to exist?
No, the universe. That doesn't make any sense. It's a completely irrelevant topic anyway.
No, wait, because that will destroy your claim. How can, if you're saying that brute facts, things that have no explanation or no reason to exist, right, and are unknowable of its existence, like the modality, yeah, they exist, but they exist mind dependently, meaning they depend on the mind. For something to depend on the mind means it only stems from the mind, and for something to stem from the mind in existence is to be intentful of the mind, meaning we have to intend it, we have to be motivated to create it or make up this ontology or whatever. How can we do that if we know nothing of the brute fact? That's contradictory. Makes no sense.
What? We can just assume brute facts exist through our minds.
You're stupid as fuck. Listen, right? If we know brute facts, we know nothing of them. We don't even know the reason, right? They're just unexplainable existence.
That's surely analytically true. That's just the tautology. Yeah, no shit.
What is it tautology?
It's just axiomatically true. There's analytically true. It's by definition an unexplained fact.
It being axiomatic. It being axiomatically true means it's extramental by definition, dumbass.
That's your definition.
No, that's the definition that every person that's sane in the head believes, not you. You believe that something can be axiomatically mind dependent.
Okay,
That makes
yeah.
no sense.
So everybody that's sane believes what you believe, but you have no actual argument or logic behind it.
No, I mean, even atheists would believe this.
using
We
ad
could get
hominem.
an atheist up on here right now. You want me to get another atheist right now up on here, and he'll agree with everything.
I agree with you that there are some atheists who hold contrary views to me. Of course, there's Platonists, but that's irrelevant to the fact that there's no logical contradiction in a mind-dependent universe. In a mind-dependent
Again, I already embarrassed you on the no contradiction point. Mike, listen.
Where's the
Listen,
contradiction?
Mike, I'm saying there. Just because I don't give you a contradiction doesn't mean there isn't a contradiction. It's argument from ignorance. I explained this.
Yeah, but it means by definition it's possible. If you can't provide a contradiction,
No,
that
it
means
doesn't.
it's possible. At the moment, it's possible.
So do you? It's not logically impossible that it's logically possible.
What? You cut out.
Do you agree that if it's not logically impossible, it's logically possible?
If it's not logically impossible, it's possible? Yes.
Yeah. Okay. How do you know something isn't logically impossible?
If it doesn't defy laws of logic, or yeah. Oh, he's gone. Okay. You left? Okay. Yeah, I mean that conversation was cute, but it wasn't really going anywhere fruitful. I mean, I think it's good to go into philosophy and stuff like that, but it's sometimes it's like just boring. But guys, everybody subscribe to my YouTube. I'll post all these debates tomorrow on my YouTube. Go check it out. I have great videos there, all my lives, all my debates, reactions. I have lots of great stuff on the YouTube. Link in bio. Please subscribe. Thank you. This guy's name is Glizzy Bear. I literally did not kick him. I was like this. I did not kick him.
You're a joke, man. At one point you were a vegan. At one point you loved God. You're just a joke. Everyone knows you're a fake.
Okay, great. So do you have an argument for God?
Kick me, man. Nah, just kick me. We all know you're a fake, man.
Yeah, you want to run away because you have no argument. Yeah, I actually made a video about the transcendental argument on my YouTube. You guys should check it out. It's actually a great one, you guys, if you have questions. Yes, Ben, you can mod.
So I was gonna ask, how do you? I was just wondering how you believe the Earth and everything else came to be. I was just wondering.
Well, it didn't. When we say it came to be, it's a very interesting thing to say because perhaps everything in the universe could have always existed in some way and changes through time, and that's what all we observe is changes. But the Earth is just a rock, and before that, it was smaller fragments of rocks over in a planetary disk, very hot ball of gas. And this came from an exploding star billions of years ago. It exploded. Gas went out into space. That gas started to collapse due to angular momentum. It formed a disk. It started to spin. Heat collected in the center, formed a star, protostar. It sent out a shock wave towards the outer ends of the disk, making the outer ends colder, forming rocks, fragments, ice, and these things collided and became planets. And this is in the nebula formation, planetary formation.
So how does exploding rocks explain specific intelligent life forms?
So life is different than planetary formation. If you're talking about life is a chemical process. Life is when you have amino acids, proteins, phosphates, all these things connect to each other chemically under certain conditions, and they can yield DNA, which can replicate. It can unzip and zip itself. It can do these amazing chemical things. And over time, over natural selection, the survival of the fittest, you get all kinds of species. And one of them, like us, with the brains, all of our organs, all of our bodily functions evolved with our bodies over billions of years. So what we see today is a product of 4 billion years of evolution, which is amazing stuff.
I'm not gonna lie. That's cool, man. I was just coming to see what you believed. I don't believe that to be true.
Yeah, I believe in facts and evidence, right? If there's facts behind it, I will believe it. If there's facts behind it, I will believe it.
Hello?
How old are you?
18. My argument is I'm 18. My argument would be just to believe in it, just in case. Like, what if it is real? You know, then you'd go to hell if you didn't believe. But if it isn't real, then you just lived a good life. You know.
Yeah, but the problem is that you could be wrong about thousands of other gods, right? You could be wrong about Juju Monster. You know, what if you're wrong about Juju Monster? What if you're wrong about Thor? What if you're wrong about Zeus, Mithras, Dionysus, all the different gods out there that are possible? To say that it's a 50-50 is a vast overstatement. It's more like a 1 out of a billion, right? In fact, 1 out of infinity, because there's an infinite number of possible gods. So we're pretty much in the same boat. You just believe in one more than me out of an infinity.
But all the other religions, people like, they just sound like bullshit. Like Hinduism, like come on. But like Christianity and like Islam, those sound like the only two. Like I know.
Well, people, you were saying that you're 17, so keep tapping, guys. Keep tapping.
Why your mom got you another one, because you can't even write it.
Whoa, what are you talking about there? All right, what do you got?
Am I on?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm on. Okay. So, evidence that God made hoverboards, and you know,
I
so
wish
they're,
God
they're,
could hoverboards.
they're
I wish, man.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, what do you got?
Good doing? Long time. So I just wanted to quickly share. You know the Antichrist in Islam, that evil figure that's going to come at the end of times. He's on the Israeli currency. I've got a picture of it on my page. If you guys don't believe me, it's my second most recent video. He's here on Earth right now, and in a couple of years, he's going to come out. He's going to claim to be God. He's going to perform some false miracles, and people like yourself.
Okay, you keep saying he's gonna, he's gonna. You keep saying he's gonna, he's gonna, he's gonna. How do you know this?
Well, he's here on Earth right now.
How do you know that?
They're currently building.
How do you
his
know?
temple
How do you
in
know?
Israel.
How do you
Well,
know?
why do you, look at what they're doing in Israel? They're building his temple, the
How do you
third
know that?
temple.
How do you know that?
Go and do your research.
What research shows us that they're building temples and that this means God's going to come back?
You can find the institution that is in charge of building his temple. They're currently
Okay,
there
great.
in Israel.
So why does a temple being built mean God's going to come back?
No, that is not God. That's the Antichrist.
Okay, how do you know that? How do you know this?
Because of the prophecies.
How do you know the prophecy's going to come true?
But they're coming true. It's just a bit, it's a bit obvious, isn't it? If they're happening, and you're saying, "But how do you know? How do you know?" It's because they're coming true as we're speaking. So there's a prophecy about
what's coming true. What about what Quran? What
Okay,
Quran
let me
verse said
explain.
that?
So there is this figure who's going to come at the end of times, called the Messiah. Okay, Jews, Christians, Muslims, we all argue about this all the time. Now the Jews.
Okay, I don't care. Where's your evidence that there's
If you
an
don't care, then
antichrist?
there's no
Where's
problem.
the evidence that there's an antichrist right now?
Okay, in Israel, they're building his temple.
How do you know they're building the antichrist temple?
Because they're building it.
Okay, okay. Let me rephrase that.
Okay,
I
they're
know
building it.
I know
Do
they might be building a
Masjid
temple.
Al-Aqsa?
Hold on,
Do
let
you
me
know
respond
Masjid
real quick.
Al-Aqsa?
Hold on. Let me speak.
Sure.
I know they're building a fucking temple. Let's just say you're right. Great. How do you know that temple is being built for the Antichrist? How do you know that that's true?
Well, our Antichrist, which is their Messiah. That's why they're building it.
Okay.
So, you know Masjid Al-Aqsa?
Repeating a claim isn't evidence.
First of all, I just want to say, like, therefore Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, alhamdulillah for every day, but how would you, like, explain the earth and everything without a God?
Physics.
What physics?
We can tell you don't know what physics is, right? It's just laws of nature,
explain to me.
describing how things operate in nature, right? The fundamental forces in nature, weak force, nuclear force, strong force, right? That's just how the universe operates. You don't need a magic man to do it.
Okay, so if based on what you're saying, like, how's the earth created? Like, based on your theory?
It's not a theory, it's a fact that the earth is a rock, and it literally formed from a planetary disk about 5 billion years ago. Like it's just astronomy, science, right? It's just like we can see and observe protostars in space. Like we know how planets form. It's not God. It's just physics, gravity.
So do you believe in aliens?
What?
Do you believe in aliens?
I believe they're possible. I don't believe in aliens today, but I believe they're possible.
So you believe in aliens? What so you think that, like, they're magic creatures around the world, but
no, they're not magic creatures. They're just life forms on other planets.
And
Okay, have a good day, sir. Enjoy your Quran. Enjoy bowing down to God every day, 5 times a day. Hello?
Good night. Are you hear me?
Yeah, unfortunately.
No, you don't have to talk to me if you don't want to, you know. You're trying everything to prove that there is not a God that exists. And I sent a request because I want to find out if you would talk to me. First, to comment, my name is Pierre Morley Smith, a former Satanist. And I know that God is real because I have met God myself.
Oh, really?
First thing you need to, I'm
What
going to
color?
ask you one
What race
question.
is God? What race is God?
Before you even go any further, do you believe in energy?
Yeah, I believe in energy. Yeah.
Did you know that energy is the spirit of God?
Really? So when I shit my pants, that's God coming out? That's energy.
Listen, let me ask you a question. Are you a comedian or you want to talk to me? I'm asking you a question. Do you believe? First thing, let me ask you a question. The gas that run the car, is it not energy? Yes, no?
Sir, energy is a property of matter. All matter has energy.
Awesome. So that is what scientists call Jehovah God, matter. The Big Bang theory, listen carefully, the Big Bang theory that said that God created the earth because there was first sun, there was first geometrical gas, and there is also sunlight. Now, all of these are energies, sources, yes or no?
Yeah, but unfortunately, your Bible says that God made
No,
the
no, no.
planets.
Listen to me. I'm talking to you now as a child of God. I'm not
Sir,
talking to you through my Bible.
your
No, no,
Bible
no.
says that
Don't talk.
the
Listen to me.
all.
I'm talking to you as a child of God. I'm not talking to you as a Bible man now. I'm talking to you as a child of God now. Don't tell me some Bible say. Me I talk to you now as a child of God.
Sure.
Okay, fine. Question I'm going to ask you. During the night season, do you have visions and dream?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Now, you are a physical man, but your visions and dream, did you know that they are energy sources, spiritual sources?
I didn't know that. Wow. My dreams are spiritual. Okay, great. What's your evidence of this?
Okay, fine. What is your evidence of current, electricity? We know that we have electrical wire. We know that we have electrical.
I'm gonna give you a chance because you're a nice guy. Okay, but you only have one chance.
No, you don't have to give me no chance. No, you don't. If you don't want to talk to me, you don't have to talk to me.
Okay.
It's just simple as that.
Okay. Have a good day, sir. Enjoy your nonsense.
Yo,
What do you got?
all right, I got one question for you, right? Do you think that you have a soul?
No.
No. So you think that you yourself exist fully in the physical?
Yeah.
That's not true, though.
Okay. Demonstrate it. Give me evidence that there's a spirit. Maybe he vanished into the spirit realm. I don't know. Maybe he left. He got raptured. I'm just so tired of claims and questions. I want evidence, right? How old are you? What year were you born? Wow, you're very old. You're a very old 19-year-old. Amazing. Never seen before on the planet Earth. He's a 4-year 19-year-old.
Hello?
What do you got?
So, listen, this is just, so in 4 months, all right, if you, God does bless people, all right, so God will bless people. He's going to bless me in 4 months. And this is just for you to understand that.
No. I don't
Listen,
give a
listen,
shit.
listen.
No, you're not
I
going to
will be
preach. You're
blowing
not
up
going to
on
preach
YouTube
here,
because of Jesus,
jackass.
right? In
No,
4 months.
stop. You're not going to preach. You're going to give me evidence of God or get the fuck out. Okay? I'm sick and tired of this shit. Give me evidence or go. Hurry up.
All right, so if you, I mean, look around. Like, it's so obvious. Listen, so if you have to let God into your life to let him see you, right? He's knocking at the door. Like, you got to repent. And if you don't choose to do that, God's not. So
I heard him. He's knocking.
No, but you have to repent. Like, you actually have to want to care. He knows your heart.
Okay. How do I do that? How do I repent?
You have to want to seek him, right? You have to want to open up your heart to God. And the way for that is to repent daily and try to stop sinning. And you will see him. You will. I promise that.
Okay, God, I repent for all my sins, all the curses, all the dirty thoughts about my friend's mob.
You got to mean it, though.
I mean it, God. I mean it. I'm repenting. I love
have you ever tried, though? Like, have you ever tried fully to know God? Or just like...
No, I've only been a Christian for 20 years of my life. I don't know what it's like. Yes, I've been a fucking Christian. I've been to church. I've done that shit, sir. I've been in your shoes, and I realize that what you believe is baseless. It might feel good to you. It might feel real to you, but it doesn't seem to have any evidence behind it. And that's what we're after. I'm after evidence, not looking around like a silly person, but actually obtaining evidence.
All right, so the only evidence is you have to fully commit yourself to God. And you'll see the evidence. God will give you the evidence.
Sir, there are people that are today atheists that used to be pastors and priests and bishops. There are people today that have been in church all their lives and are now atheists. Why didn't God help those people? Why didn't God reveal himself to those people?
Listen, everything happens for a reason, right? So if you're not with God, God's going to put you into these positions of like...
Even grape?
So he's going to put you in these bad positions to let you like say, oh, I need him now, right? So you're going to be at this low point.
Wait,
and that's
you're
where you
saying
find
that God has a reason for grape?
For grape? All right, well, anyways, I'm going to be blown up on YouTube in 4 months because of Jesus, and y'all will see it, all right? You'll see me, Danny James, all over YouTube. I'm not even joking when I say this. God literally...
I'm literally in shock. People believe this shit. People actually believe that shit. Literally insane. All right, let's see.
Hiya.
Hey, what do you got?
Why do you want to be convinced if God is real?
Because I'm honest and I want to know the truth.
We're all honest, aren't we? Some people are.
If you believe in God with no evidence, you're dishonest, right? So what's the evidence of God?
Okay, are you an atheist?
Yeah.
Okay, for me, being an atheist is the coward way out than understanding a religion.
Oh, so the courageous way out is to believe that there's a magic man that cares about where you put your
is
feet.
to understand
Ma'am, what you're doing takes zero courage, zero honesty, zero work. It's lazy to believe in God, especially when you have no evidence for God. You're just believing because you want to.
Well,
it's pathetic.
From the way,
give us evidence of God. Give us evidence of God now.
Okay, so from the way that your life is working, or your this life is working, you're not here to be convinced. I think you're here just to take the piss. So I don't think anybody will be able to convince you, but God do exist.
Try me. Let's give evidence. Let's hear it.
Hold on. I was in a near-death experience, and at that moment, actually, I was not practicing. I was not doing anything religious, but at that moment, and I was drowning, I felt like The only, like when you're in a bad situation, all you feel is like you need the help from an external universe. Like you feel like,
Yeah, I understand,
yeah.
ma'am, and I'm happy you're here today. But the problem is, how do you know that this experience means God did it and not just something else?
Listen, the same way you don't understand that you keep on saying it's physics. Physics is the explanation of the explanation that people reached after they read and saw things. It's not like they're the one who created things.
Right, because creation doesn't exist. Now, can you give us evidence of God?
God exists, my darling. If you don't see it in your soul, nobody will be able to convince you.
How do I see it in my soul? How do I do that?
No, listen. You were ex-Christian, right? You went to church.
Yeah.
See, with that expression, my darling, you don't drop people. People leave you.
Oh, okay. So she's gonna run away and not give evidence for her God. That's so nice. Like, guys, I understand your perspective. I understand that from your perspective, I seem like the bad guy. I seem like the crazy guy. But I'm not. I'm honest. Give me evidence for God, right? I'm honest. I don't believe in things that without evidence. I'm not dishonest in that way. So I'm not here to say that I'm right. I can't be wrong. I'm not here to say that. I'm here to say a simple thing, that the guests that we've seen today have not given us evidence of God. And nobody I know of has given evidence for God. So from that, in that sense, it would be dishonest to me to believe in God. And so would it be for you. And every argument you've given us today is bad. Thank you, guys. Everybody subscribe to the YouTube, link in bio for more content.
Hey, pal, can you hear me?
Yeah, what do you got?
Oh, yeah, well, first of all, thank you for allowing me to come up. First of all, I just want to say I don't see you as a bad guy. I just see you as a guy that's asking a question. That's it. Nothing bad about that. Yeah? But I do want to give what I believe, why I believe God exists. And it's simply, I think it's called entropy. You can't get order from chaos. And that's it.
You sure fucking can, right? It's called physics, right? Gravity. Gravity can collapse clouds of dust and debris in the universe and collapse them into protostars and solar systems.
No. That's that thing where people are saying that these things are, that's chaos. That's not chaos. What I'm saying is, it's like, for example, if I take this, I'm drinking a glass, right? If I created the glass, yeah? If I break that glass, drop it on the floor, nothing in a million years, floods, tidal waves, dinosaurs, nothing in a million years will bring back that glass back to order.
Sure it can. You just melt it back again.
No, but then what you'd have to do that. So somebody would have to come along and melt it back to the glass form. Of course, that could happen.
This is a bad example, because there's other examples where you don't need somebody to do it, right? When it comes to the nebula cloud, I just fucking mentioned to you, a nebula cloud is chaotic, and then because of gravity, collapses to something more orderly.
No,
okay?
You're defining the nebula cloud as chaotic. I don't think it's chaos. I don't think it exists like that.
What do you mean, sir? A nebula cloud is a very chaotic thing. It's a large disorderly cloud of dust and debris.
No,
which
okay,
then
so
becomes more orderly due to gravity.
Okay, so once upon a time, people used to describe the seas as chaotic. Sailors, chaotic seas. But then when you got a bit higher, you saw actually there's a pattern here, there's a rhythm, there's a, you know what I mean? It's just how you look at it. You know, so you're defining the nebula cloud as chaotic. But I bet you if you looked at it at a different distance, you'd see
because
a
by
pattern,
definition,
a vibration.
Sir,
an order.
Sir, stop. Order and disorder are relative terms. We define what's disorderly based on the orderly things we observe in reality. When it comes to the nebula cloud, by definition, they are disorderly because they were more disorganized than a star. Period. That's a fact.
No, that's an opinion. It's not a fact.
So you think a star is more disorderly than a nebula cloud?
No, I don't think that's.
Okay, great. So
I don't think that's even it's even how you should use the word. To be
Let
fair.
me ask you this then, sir. What is more orderly, a nebula cloud or a star?
I think they're both orderly. I don't know which one's more orderly than the other, but
Okay,
I'd
well
say
the
they're both
answer is a star is more orderly. That's the answer.
That's your answer.
No,
Okay, so
no,
this is
it's
the
the answer based on facts and evidence that you don't understand.
No,
You
it's
don't
not.
know
No,
you don't know what a nebula cloud is, sir. You don't know what a nebula cloud is. Go
my guy.
fucking learn.
Yeah, okay, thank you. But and look, you don't want to be the bad guy. There's no need to be so offensive, but it's fine. The point
I'm not
is,
offended, jackass. You are being dishonest. Because you know you don't know what a fucking nebula cloud is, but you pretend you do. That's why. It's frustrating. Talking to people like you who don't know what the fuck they're talking about, but pretend they do. Okay. So go ahead and give us evidence for God now, because no matter how disorderly the universe is or orderly it is, it doesn't mean God exists. I can assure you that. So go ahead and give us evidence of God.
that's evidence for me anyway.
Okay, great.
Whenever I see order.
Okay, great. So your argument is that wherever we see order, that means God did it.
No, that proves to you that God exists. It's not like.
Okay, so what's the argument? That order requires an ordered person, or an agency?
Order requires, yeah, essentially.
Okay, great.
Agency.
So is God orderly?
That's one of those. That's not one of those questions that's not really for
okay.
That's not really for me.
So God could be chaotic.
Maybe, I don't know. That's not for me. That's not for me to determine.
Okay. Well, most Christians and theists agree that God is the
I'm not a
most
Christian or a
orderly
theist,
thing
bro.
there can be, right?
Pal,
By
listen to
definition,
me.
God, sir, if you would just shut up and listen.
No, well, you could just
You could just be silent. So the theistic argument goes like this. Order in the universe exists, therefore we need some agency to describe it. But when it comes to God, what you're doing is you're kicking the can down the road. You're just saying, well, there's order in the universe, so let's say God did it. But we can say the same thing about God. If God did it, if there's an agency behind the universe, which is orderly, who made God orderly? What person is making God orderly? And the answer to the question is there is no fucking buddy making it orderly. It's just the property of nature. It could be a necessary property of nature, just like the universe being orderly. Which, by the way, the universe is becoming more disorderly through time. Entropy is increasing in the universe. And that only signifies that there is nobody doing it, but we are just here. Shit happens. And if there is a God behind this, they're doing a very bad job. A very bad job. So, everybody subscribe to my YouTube, link in bio for more content. All my debates up there.
I'll have proof that God is real.
Great, let's hear it.
When you go to bed tonight, I want you to get down. I want you to pray. I want you to spread yourself open to the Lord and feel him coming inside of you.
Thank you, Sherry. Love you too.
Can you hear me?
Thanks, Sherry. You're cute. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What's up? So you don't believe in God?
No, I don't believe in God.
Oh, well, I just believe he's real because life just doesn't make sense. Like, I feel like we here for something. Like, why would we just be here, brother? Like, it's just weird just to think that people are just here. Like, you don't think there's something. You don't think there's something why we here. It just doesn't make sense. Like, why are people?
I understand this is a very human thing to think and ponder about. Why are we here? Why do we exist? But perhaps asking why is the wrong question. Perhaps there is no why. Maybe asking why are we here is like asking what's the edge of the universe, or what's at the edge of the earth. It's not a right question to ask. But more importantly here, couldn't we ask the same question about God? Why does God exist? What's God's purpose?
I mean, we can't answer that because he's God. You know what I'm saying? We're just humans.
Yeah.
We're just here to.
If God has no purpose for existing, he just is, then why can't we have no
technically
purpose?
his word, he said he wanted to be worshipped. He made us, so he wanted to be worshipped.
Oh, okay. So you think our only purpose is to worship God? That's it.
I mean, to enjoy life? No, you can enjoy. He gave us free will.
Okay.
He gave us,
What's more important though, worshiping God or enjoying life? What's the bigger purpose?
I think both. I
think both?
I think, yeah, because you get a great experience and worship God. Well, when I connect with God, like, you know how you have a relationship with somebody, you get a great feeling with that person. That's how I feel with God. I get a great feeling.
You get a great feeling by having to worship some entity. That gives you great
I mean,
feeling?
I get blessed. Like, I seen it. Like,
Yes, God. That gives you hope and purpose. Well, to me, I think this is silly. I think that in reality, we don't need to grab purpose from a God. We can make our own purpose. Just like your God gives us purpose, which God himself has no purpose, by the way.
Yeah.
We can ourselves make purpose. I can emanate with purpose and meaning in my life. I can produce purpose and value. And in that sense, we are more powerful than God, because we can do better than what God did. We don't have to let people worship us. That's stupid. That's a waste of time to me. It's a purposeless purpose.
But isn't that your opinion though? That's your opinion, but that's not God's opinion though.
Do you think worshiping is something do you think it's a waste of time? Or do you think there's something useful when we worship God? Does that do us anything good?
Okay. Then that's like saying it's working useful because it's only temporary. We're going to be here for around 80 years.
Yeah, working is useful.
So we can say, huh?
It is useful because we're generating something today in our lives. That's what matters, right?
But it's not forever.
What counts is what we have in front of us, our lives, the people around us, right? So working is useful in making our lives now better. But when it comes to worshiping some magic muffin man in outer space, what kind of fucking use does that have for us?
I mean, that's something you gotta personally deal with your life. You gotta encounter.
Yeah, I don't see a purpose in worshiping some magic wizard forever. I think that's stupid. I think a better purpose to have is to do something beneficial for people today that are alive, to actually look at the consequences to our actions and do something better, make life better than before, which your God seems to not be able to do. It's up to us, it seems to me.
I mean,
it's up to us to do the right thing, and there is nobody watching us or caring for us. And if there is, who cares? It doesn't give us purpose. I don't need purpose from God. I can make it my own, and in that way, we're free. We can be perfectly happy and fine without God. God is unnecessary in every way.
If that's the case, then like that's saying like God gives us the tools to go fix stuff. But if you don't want to go fix it, then that's
Did God give us phones? No, we made it ourselves, right? We
exactly, but that's through his ability though. He gave us a mindset to think of that. You know what I'm saying?
Now you're presupposing that. Why do you presuppose we have minds from God?
Because why are we smarter? Why are we the most smartest things on this earth? Why are humans the most smart? It doesn't make sense. Like animals are not smart like us.
Well, firstly, I wouldn't say that we're the smartest because we're destroying our own world. We're the only ones who destroy our own habitats. I wouldn't say that's very smart. But evolutionarily speaking, the reason why we are smart or than the other animals is because we took a different evolutionary path. We left the plains of Africa. We had to migrate across the continent and discover new habitats, new food sources, water sources. In that process, we developed language, we developed fire, and this allowed us to be smarter and smarter in an exponential way. It completely explained through evolution. You don't need God to explain why we're this way. So to me, it's perfectly fine and natural to say that we exist in this world. There's no God required.
So you have you traveled around the world before?
No.
Or no? Okay. Well, for instance, what made me just think like when I traveled not too long ago, I just saw like the mountains. I'm just like thinking like, who can create this? Like nobody can just it can't just be here. Everything has to
Why
have a
not?
purpose.
Why does somebody have to make things? Why? Why can't we live in a universe that is just naturally this way, right? Because when you say the same thing, in the same breath you say who made the mountains, you have to say
Right.
that for everything else, like cancer, starvation, disease. Who made diseases? Did
I mean,
God
that's
make
sin.
syphilis? Did
I mean,
God
that's sin.
make cancer?
That's sin. That's part of sin. That's just part of sin.
Oh, and who made sin?
So,
Who made sin?
huh?
God. God made
Satan.
sin.
It came from Satan. He disobeyed. He thought,
And
hey, I was
who
better
made
than,
Satan? Who made Satan?
huh? God did.
Right. So it all comes back to God.
But he,
God is
but he gave,
responsible for
but he gave
God
Satan.
is responsible for all the bad and good. You can't just look at the good and forget all the bad and just say Satan did it. God is responsible for all things in the universe. It's his universe if he exists. So
But it's free will. Would you rather, brother, would you rather be controlled, or would you rather have your own choice? Like right now, you have your own choice to make up your mind and say, hey,
no.
I don't. Go ahead.
Yeah, so free will is not apparent. There's no evidence of free will. I don't freely choose things. We're determined to do things. So in that sense, I'm already. I don't need free will to be happy or purposeful.
You don't need free will? How? You're happy. You're doing yourself. You're doing what you want to do right now,
I can
right?
be determined to be happy. I can be determined to be have a fulfilled life, a happy life.
So that's not a free will?
No, I don't need free will. Free will is unnecessary.
Okay, so if I want to go kill somebody right now, that's not free will? Oh, I don't think I can say that. You might have to boot me.
Well, again, you're determined to do everything you do. You might have a sense of free will. We might have this sensation of freedom because we're the most immediate things that are responding to these laws of nature. But in reality, we don't have choices. I don't choose what I think. I don't choose what I do or what my environment is like. We're the product of our environment.
You don't choose what you say? You're choosing to talk to me, right? Isn't that a choice?
We are determined to be this way, to choose these things, right? We are determined to say and think the things we do based on our surroundings.
All right, so let me ask you, do you believe when you pass away, do you think anything will happen to you?
Yeah, I think that my body will eat itself away. The worms and bacteria in our bodies will eventually eat away at the flesh and the bones until we're completely disintegrated, turning into fertilizer for the plants and animals that succeed us.
So, for the people that don't believe God, why don't people just hurry up in this life if they know there's nothing gonna be? Why would you stay here, like, if you know there's not gonna be nothing after this life? That's my question for you.
Because this life is all we got and we enjoy it. And that's all that matters is this life. Without God, all that matters is this life and our friends and family. That's all that matters because that's all we got.
But see, you see how you still got that happy and joy that comes from something that's not just you.
From my
That's because God
surroundings.
put that.
It comes from the people around me. It comes from the environment around us. That's where it comes from. I don't need God to be happy or loving.
I'm just saying, brother, if I knew if it wasn't something in this life that I'm living for, I would just end it. Because what is my purpose here?
Really? So let me give you this situation.
Mm-hmm.
There's two worlds: a world with God and a world without a God.
Yeah.
In the world with God, you have your friends and family, and in the world without a God, you have your friends and family.
Right.
So, are you saying that in the world without God, with your friends and family, that your friends and family don't mean anything?
Nah, they do. They do.
Great. So then you agree that we can have meaning in friends and family and love without God.
I mean, but is it true love? Is it the love that God?
Yeah, it's the only true love we have.
I'm just saying, if I knew there was nothing after this life, why would I want to stay here?
Because staying here means you get to experience a little bit longer. And a little bit longer is a long time for a finite world, right?
You only have 80 years.
The universe, if our lives are finite, it puts more value on our lives because it ends, right? It's like having a fantastic day that ends, right? You want to revisit that day because that was a finite time you got to experience. That's why things are valuable, because they're rare, they're finite. You only get one of them. That's what makes us valuable. If we live forever, value decreases because now you just have another day to live. But if this life is rare and finite, if this is all we got, this is everything. Literally, everything we have is here now in this moment. You, me, your friends, your family. Look at how valuable things become because we are finite, because that's all we got.
So at the end of this, what if I'm right and you end up wrong?
Nothing about me will change. I'll still be me. Nothing
What if you
about me
don't
will
believe?
change at all. I'll still be skeptical about your God. I'll still ask it questions that'll be hard for it to answer. I will still be me. And if I can't be me when I die, I'd rather burn in hell than be different than who I am. I have dignity in myself. And I do not want to trade my being or my dignity or my courage or my skepticism or rationality, my reasoning for some la blissful land where I'll never question, where I'll just be happy forever. That is dumb to me. I'd rather be me with the dignity I have than to trade it all for some heaven from blissful la land. That means nothing to me. I'd rather burn in hell than do that. So it's a win-win for me.
Yeah, nah, but I understand, bro. But I appreciate you, and I wish the best for you, Mike. And I'll keep you in my prayers, and just keep trying. And I hope one day you find the answer that you're looking for. And I don't even know you, but I love you, brother.
So I know you're trying to sound nice, but this is dishonest. This is garbage. This is trash. Because this is a cop out, right? I'll pray for you means fuck you. That's what it really means. Yeah, it does. You're trying to be so dishonest. You're trying to be nice, but you're not. Right? That's dishonesty. Whereas I will tell it straight to your face. That's ridiculous. Prayer doesn't fucking work. More importantly, I'm not looking for one specific truth. That's not what science is after or anybody's after. We're after learning more about the world. And you're right. I could be wrong. Yeah, sure. But the problem is that I am maximally sure, maximally certain about things I believe in because there's evidence that warrants those beliefs. I have evidence behind everything I believe. So that's why I'm confident. I'm so confident in myself because everything I believe, I'm careful and cautious to make sure that there's based evidence for it.
But that's the same thing that got Satan kicked out of heaven, right? He was confident in himself.
Oh, so you're saying God hates confidence?
Nah, but I'm just saying, like, that's the same thing. Satan thought he knew it all. He thought, hey, look, it's my way.
No. I don't think I know it all. You do. You think you know everything.
I know it all.
Yes, you do. You think that was the point I was just about to allude to.
Nah, I don't.
Just implied in your statement before. I hope you find the truth that you have the truth because you have a Bible and you think God is the truth. So you literally claim to know all the truth in the entire universe. So you're the arrogant one. You're the confident one that's overly confident. You're the maximally arrogant one. I'm not, because I concede that I don't know everything. Whereas you will never do that because of your fucking arrogance.
Mike, if I knew everything, I would be able to prove to you he's wrong. I mean that God is real. I would be able to prove to you myself that if I knew everything, but I don't know everything. So I can't prove it. I can only prove
then why do you pretend you know that God's real then?
I'm not pretending. Okay, for instance.
Okay, great. So what's the evidence of God? So what's the evidence?
Okay,
this is why it leads to evidence.
It's just people always
leads to evidence.
Okay, look, my personal evidence is my dreams. Like I have visions. Like say I'll have a dream about something, then later that month it'll happen. And I'll be like, I feel like that's God talking to me. For instance, people are just drawn to me in public. That's just my personal thing.
So you're saying that you dream something and a month later happened. What if I dream about something and a month later it doesn't happen? Does that mean God doesn't exist?
No. I mean, I'm just saying that's how God talks to me.
How can this be evidence? So then how can this be evidence of God if the same thing you're using as evidence, the counterfactual of that is something that disproves it?
Because it was in the same story where somebody would dream. His name was Prophet John. He would have dreams, and the same dream. So I feel like I can relate to that story in the Bible. So that's how I feel is real, because I can relate to that.
Yeah, but unfortunately, feelings aren't evidence. So do you have actual data or facts that are falsifiable and not just a claim that you had about dreaming? Do you have actual falsifiable data for God?
why are these people from billions of years passing on this imaginary man down? I just want to know that. Why are they passing this story? What is so important
Because it feels
about
good.
this man? Huh?
Because it feels good to us to believe in God. It feels good to think that you're going to be watched over and taken care of when you die, and that you get rewards when you die, that you get to heaven when you die. It feels good to believe in God, to believe that there's somebody watching over you and taking care of you.
Okay, so
that's
Mike,
the only reason why you believe in God is because
Mike,
of heaven.
so why not go with that feeling?
Let me ask you this, sir. If for believing in God, you went to hell, would you still believe in God?
You said if I didn't go to hell?
If God exists, right, and for believing in God, you went to hell, would you still believe?
For believing in God, I will go to hell.
So in this world, as an atheist, you get to heaven, but as a believer, you go to hell. Would you still be a believer in that world?
No, you can still be a believer and still go to hell. If you don't,
sir. I'm talking about a hypothetical situation in a world where God exists, but it's reversed. Atheists go to heaven and believers go to hell. Would you still be a believer in that world?
I mean, that story can't have. That's not the story. I'm sorry,
it's a hypothetical, sir, to show you that the only reason why you believe in God is for heaven.
No. That's no. Heck no.
Okay,
that's
great. So answer the hypothetical. If you went to hell answer the hypothetical. If you went to hell for believing in God, would you still believe in God?
I mean, what God? What are we talking? Because there's many.
It's God in another world.
The God I'm talking about?
Sir, can you answer the hypothetical, please, for this situation? The hypothetical is this. There is a God who will send you to hell for believing in him, but atheists will get to heaven. Would you still believe in God?
That's a crazy. I would have to have, like you would say, I would have to have proof in that scenario. I would have to have proof, and I will pull one of your cards. You will have to prove to me. I will be in your situation. Because that's just crazy.
That's not what I'm asking you, sir. Can you please stick to the hypothetical, please? If God existed, you know he exists. It doesn't matter if you know or not. The point is that for believing in this God, you go to hell. But as an atheist, you get to heaven. Would you still believe in God, knowing that you get to hell? Would you still believe in God?
I'll be honest with you. I don't want to suffer, so of course I'm gonna go with. I want to go where is the right place. I don't want to go to hell. So there's your answer.
There you go.
Okay,
there you go.
So
you don't believe in God for hell. You don't believe in God for
Mike,
anything else but heaven. That's the only reason why you believe in God is to get to heaven.
Mike, that's just the end reward. That's just the finish of the race.
Exactly. That's the point.
That's
why circle back. So let's circle back to the beginning. The reason why people believe in God is for heaven. That's
not the main. That's not the main reason, though. That's the end goal.
Yeah, sure. The other things come with it, but mainly it's for the reward.
I wouldn't be too focused on that because then I'll be trying to be perfect, which I'm not. So I feel like that my mindset is not. But you do have some Christians that are like that. The reason why they serve God is because they want to go. They don't want to go there.
So last chance for evidence for God. Do you have any actual evidence for God, or are you gonna waste your time even more?
Who, me? I'm not wasting your time. I'm just here, brother.
All right. Have a good day. I'll be praying to the spaghetti monster that he gives you spaghetti meatballs when you die.
Hello?
How old are you?
18.
What year were you born?
2004.
What month were you born?
July.
Have a good day. She would be 19 today. Okay, let's do Sandy. So close. She was so close.
Hello, Mike.
Hello.
How are you?
Very good.
You have a question that God is imaginary, and you say, can you prove wrong? Well, Can you prove that he is imaginary?
Sure, your God is too dumb to exist. No smart, intelligent, omniscient God would ever make a world where people starve to death or get raped or die of cancer. That's a dumb thing to do. Your God has no evidence behind it, no logic behind it. It is ill-defined. It defies all logic we know of, including
Well,
the
how
law
do
of
you think?
non-contradiction. When it comes to omniscience and free will paradox, we have the omni-paradoxes. We have so many different reasons to not believe in God. It's not even funny.
Well, how do you think you got here? Did you just come out of a womb and that was it? That there was
Yeah,
nobody behind that?
yeah, that's it. That's it. It's just chemistry. There's no God there. There's nobody. There's no God in my mother's vagina going, go out, little buddy. There's nobody doing that.
Hmm. That's kind of interesting to listen to because, everybody says, well, you don't, but people will say, I believe in God, I believe in God, I believe in God. Well, it's not about believing in God. People nobody on this earth cannot believe in anything that they can't see. And the reason is, with God, you got to take it by faith.
Oh, okay.
And you cannot look
Faith.
upon God's face
Now it makes
because it's too
sense.
bright.
Okay,
It's too bright, and unless you are willing to
Sandy,
trust in Him.
Sandy. I have faith that God doesn't exist. Am I right?
No, you're not right, but you think you're right.
Oh, so faith doesn't work in any reliable fashion to give us truth. So I don't want faith, ma'am. I want evidence for God. Okay, Sandy?
Well, that's what you can't have. That's what I'm saying. You can't.
Oh, so why do you believe in her in God, Sandy?
Well, I tell you why I believe in God. For one thing, I've been in a lot of predicaments. I've had a hard life. I've had things that has happened to me that I shouldn't even be here. I have a half a leg that's sewn on. I have had 2 broken jaws, 2 broken wrists, 2 broken knees, 2 broken elbows.
Yeah,
And
I'm sorry to hear that.
there's no reason why I shouldn't. But you know what? He kept, by faith and by His love and grace, He kept me here for a reason.
Yeah, so
And that reason is so I can let people know, even though
I understand where you're coming from, and
even though I can say,
ma'am, can I speak?
well, the devil sure didn't do it.
Right, and I know
But
from your perspective, it might seem
I don't want you to take this as
okay. I can't talk to someone who's just not okay. The world is bittersweet. We don't always get things we want. Bad things happen to us. The world doesn't care about us. Doesn't seem to be that way. But all I can tell you is that we're here. We exist. And the best we can do is make the best out of life. The best we can do is stop complaining about everything and start enjoying this experience more, as much as we can. Don't take things for granted. The solution to me in the middle of tragedy, the worst thing you can do is just say, God, help me. That's, to me, pathetic. I think that we should be stronger and have a stronger sense of want to survive and live. And that only comes from being intelligent and not being so ignorant about the world. Knowledge is power. When you understand how the world works and understand everything like that, you're a much more understanding person. And bad things that happen, good things that happen, you recognize that you're still alive. We still exist, and that's amazing in itself. Looking out for God doesn't solve anything. So that's all I'm going to say. Should I get one more guest? Really tired. Guess one last guess, guys. Everybody subscribe to the YouTube for more
Hi,
comment
how are
content.
you?
Yeah.
So just a thought on, because I kind of rolled in while you were talking with the other people. So whether a person believes in God or not, do you think it still serves a purpose for those people who believe in God?
It might
Whether
fulfill a sense of purpose to people, sure, but why is that relevant? I can believe in anything and have purpose from. I can believe in unicorns and make that my purpose.
Well, the thing is, I think most religion, not that I'm trying to promote religion, but most religion tries to promote good morals and therefore good people, right? To some degree.
Well, yeah. I mean, sure, to some degree it does, but religion also causes lots of harm in the world, like especially the Christian religions and the Islamic religions. They
Yeah,
produce
that's
lots of
actually
harm.
that's why I actually was thinking, are you only trying to challenge the Abrahamic God in this debate?
No,
Because
but what you raised up the moral part, right? I can get morality better without God. I can get morality without God. I can be a good person without a God. Religion
But
is completely unnecessary.
you also have to understand that some people have different levels of self-awareness or consciousness to some degree.
Yeah,
And
I
maybe
understand
yours
that
is just
I
higher.
understand.
But for some people, religion fulfills that, right?
I understand, ma'am. I understand not everybody's going to become an atheist tomorrow. I know that. But what I'm saying is, for the people who are listening and are courageous enough to ask the right questions, who want to know the truth and are honest in it and have the capacity to do so, then you should fucking be asking the right questions. That's all I'm saying here. That for the majority of people who are not dumb, who are really smart people, they should be asking better questions. I understand that there's some people out there who have to believe in God because they have no other, they can't process anything otherwise. I understand that. But I'm not going to talk to those people. That'd be a waste of time. I'm talking to people who want to change and have courage enough to learn and expand their mind. And that's all I'm here. I'm here after those people. I'm not going to talk to people who are brainwashed in their religions and cults. That's ridiculous. I'm after people on the fence, asking questions and have the courage to change.
Fair enough, I suppose.
Okay.